You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
And if I could sing in some sort of way, I would do some sort of Disney-ish
Do
lead
it.
in.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Well, it's a podcast as old as 12 years of time.
In podcast years, that's like 100.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Yeah, it is.
So today we're talking about The Beauty and the Beast, both the Disney feature film and the SNES
Not
game.
the Ron Perlman joint that everyone's mom watched in the 80s, or maybe just mom.
Oh, I forgot
Shit,
about
I
that,
forgot
man.
about- there was a TV show
Shit,
of it
there
too
was.
with Linda Hamilton.
That's the one I'm talking about. That was Ron Perlman,
okay.
right? Maybe I'm
was it?
maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I didn't watch
I
it.
think you're. I do think.
I remember watching it, and be like, "This is gonna be fucking badass." It was not. It was super not. I watched one episode with my mom, and I was like, I will never understand women.
There was also a live action Beauty and the Beast made a couple of years ago with Emma Watson.
I
saw that.
I saw that too.
I did not see that one, but I may watch it.
Kids were very excited. Took the kids to see it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we brought on our foremost Beauty and the Beastologist, Captain Gudner, John Turley.
Right.
Yeah, I am extremely qualified to be here.
Your
being
Beauty
good.
and the
I've never
Beast
seen.
knowledge is
I know, it's unparalleled, right?
And your
It's
Burger Bottom
immeasurable.
title has been forever stripped. You can't
It's what I
go back
heard.
to it.
That's what I heard.
And your
We got
beautician
it
in the
away.
beast knowledge will come in handy.
That was a good movie.
I never saw it.
Josh Danton, I
Dude,
saw
I
that.
really didn't know what you were talking
I
about
thought
for a
you were
second. I was like,
Fran
I
what?
thought you were number one Fran Drescher fan.
Hey, I do love Fran Drescher.
Yeah, that's why I figured that was going to
but
be a
no,
home run with
I
you.
must have missed that one. I have literally
All right, we're gonna stop and watch it and comment in real time.
no.
That'd be great,
I do
actually.
feel like I know. I normally joke about being unqualified to be on whatever show it is that I happen to be on, but this one in particular, like I've never.
You've never seen Beauty and the Beast?
I've never seen Beauty and the Beast. I've never played the game. I've never seen any of the iterations of Beauty and the Beast.
Have
that
you seen
guys
any of the
all just
R34
mentioned. I didn't know that
content of Beauty
Beautician
and
and
the
the Beast was a show. I am
movie.
immensely.
It's
a
I'm like
movie,
Trump
yeah.
candidate, unqualified.
Have you ever seen any of the Rule 34 Beauty and the Beast content?
I have not, but I mean, that's
Well, it's
I feel like that's
I've
where
only
I should.
seen Deviant Art.
I feel like that's where I should
Beauty and the
start,
Beast.
right? I mean, that's-
Really, it's the best place to start, unless you're
Is it a lot of vor? Like a lot of beast eating beauty?
Probably, yeah.
It's Chip and his mom getting things shoved inside of them.
See, I don't even get that joke.
They're a tea kettle and a cup.
Uh,
Famously voiced by Angela Lansbury.
oh wow,
Yeah.
bringing some clout.
Oh, it was a big fucking deal. It was a big deal.
So before we delve deeper into that, what you boys been up to?
Well, guys, let me tell you about my week. Let me tell you about
yeah.
the time that has elapsed since we met.
How many
last.
good things have happened to you?
Not many.
Because I know you come in somewhere every week on the amazing things.
Oh, this one's real good though.
I could honestly say after the week I had, yesterday was a really good day.
Okay,
Sunday
good.
was a good day. Tanya
right.
and I spent some time. We did a little shopping, did a little hanging out. It was fun. We had
And
a good
according
day.
to our quiz, that's one of the three things you guys have in common.
That's
Yes,
right.
it
You love
is. That's
shopping.
right. So we had a good day yesterday, and we needed it. And Dave has heard this story, and John has heard this story, but there's way more to it. The first part of my story is Tanya and I decided we were going to buy a new television,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and we bought Now this is where the bad week started.
I hope it's the 100-inch Walmart TV.
We bought a 77-inch television.
Nice.
Like we went full bore too with the best. Like I did the research and we decided we want this one. And even the guy at Best Buy was like, "Oh, good pick." You know, like This is the one you want if you're going to go all out. So we bought this TV.
Was it a genuine Sony?
It was a Sony. It was Panasonic. Sorry. I know a genuine Sony when I see one. And we went to Best Buy and they loaded. So I took my big pickup truck to get it. Now, it's an OLED, which is essentially a giant 77-inch piece of glass with bunches of little LEDs in them. And they said, well, we'll put it in your truck only if you will. But since it's an OLED, it has to stand upright. It can't lay flat. It's like, okay. So we put it in the truck, and I got out the ratchet straps and strapped it down real good and tight.
You're already making my stomach hurt.
Turned out of the parking lot, and the TV fell over in the back of my truck. Screamed down. I know I had bought the protection plan, but apparently that doesn't kick in till the thing is at my house. So I'm gonna be on the hook for this
That's
fucking
some bullshit.
thing.
That is some straight up. And they
bullshit.
made him load it that way.
They
Like,
made
that's
me
right.
load it that way. I would have been happy laying it down on the against the wheel well, because it's too wide. It won't lay flat. In
Did
the
they
truck.
see you do this, or could you have
They
driven
were helping
home?
me do it.
Okay.
They knew it was tight, but it.
No, like did they see it fall over?
No,
or could
but
you have driven
I
home
turned
and been like,
around. I should have, but I turned around and went back in the store because I didn't understand at the time about the protection plan. This story actually it has a happy ending because we took it in the store, and of course they're like, oh my god, and they opened the box. They opened the TV in the store, took it out of the box in the store, plugged it in, and we verified that the screen didn't get broken, and it worked. So they taped it all back up, taped the box up, and I said, I want you to deliver it to me. And they signed me up for the delivery thing, and then the manager wrote a bunch of notes, and the thing that he and me and several employees saw that the screen was working, so that way when it gets delivered, if there's anything wrong with it, they will cover it. So they're like, okay, we're going to bring it to you, and we'll get it to you by Thursday. This is this past Thursday, as of the airing of this episode. So they did, but in the time between we settled on buying this TV and committed to it, and the day that they brought the TV, our dryer went out. So we had to buy a new fucking dryer.
those take forever. I know.
Turns out it didn't. I got it ordered, and it came a few days later. But the bad news there was my fucking dryer went out. I had to buy a fucking new dryer on top of buying this TV that we had already paid for. So now I've bought all this shit. They bring the TV, and it's fine. It's great. John came over, helped me hang it on the wall. John took my old TV, which I helped hang on his wall.
I did benefit from this transaction.
You did. then the dryer came the next day, and I was able to get the dryer hooked up. So the stress of the events starting to wane a bit.
Good.
And then Saturday morning, I woke up and ended up having to go to the emergency room and be in the emergency room at Baptist for 4 hours because I'm past my very first kidney stone.
Oh shit.
So I was sitting in my living room, and I didn't feel very right. Something felt real wrong, and then something got real bad feeling wrong in my back, in the right side of my lower back, which is still tender to the touch.
Oh fuck me.
Like in an organ area, or
My
like
kidney.
in a
Yeah, deep down. Oh, my penis was burning, and I'm like, well, I know it's not chlamydia. So I was like, well, that's weird.
Because you know I'm clean.
But maybe I'm a little dehydrated or something, maybe because sometimes it does, if you're real dehydrated, you go pee, it burns a little or something,
Yeah.
Well, that didn't subside, and then the pain started getting in, and then suddenly it's in my back, and I'm like, uh-oh. I start walking around. I'm panicking.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thinking my appendix is rupturing, and maybe the pain is, I don't know the pain of that. You do, but I don't know the pain of that.
Probably not near the level of pain you were experiencing.
And I was like sweating, and I was just walking around holding my back. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Tanya's in there blow drying her hair, and I walked into the bathroom. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I had to shit real bad all of a sudden too. And so I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm in a lot of pain. Something's fucking wrong with me. And I told her at the time, I said, I don't know what this feels like, but I think I might be passing a kidney stone based on what I've heard before about it.
Fuck.
about it being the worst pain that you can feel.
Oh,
hate this story.
it's like top 3. It's worse than I read a big thing about it, like a medically published pain scale, and like getting your finger clipped off with like garden shears is not as bad as a kidney stone.
Well, hey, there you go. So if that ever happens,
So if that ever happens, I know I can handle
you can handle it.
So
This is fucking terrible. It's not as bad.
So the first bout of it, like the pain was so bad, and I was like, oh God, and I'm making a big fucking scene, which I hate to do.
Well, you're in
And I'm
pain.
like, let's go to I might need to go to the hospital. And Tony's like, okay, well, because we're real big on let's not jump to conclusions. Let's see what happens. Because she goes through a lot of things that we don't go to the hospital for.
Get out
and
the
for
mat.
Good reason.
Jump to different conclusions.
Yeah. And so we waited, and it
I
subsided.
made $1 million.
It subsided a little bit, and I'm like, okay, maybe I just had a real bad pulled muscle or something weird happening. 10 minutes later, it came back, and it was 10 times fucking worse than it was.
Because
I
it
was like,
entered
okay,
your ureter.
now I feel like I'm going to throw up. Now I feel like I'm going to pass out, and I can't sit down. I can't stand up. I can't do anything. It is just my world. My entire world was pain. And it was the worst thing I've ever felt in my life. And I was like, okay, nope, I'm sorry. We got to go to the hospital. And she's like, okay, because
She's like, whatever, pussy.
well, sometimes I wonder if that doesn't go through her mind. Because, when I get the flu or something, I'm down. And when she gets the flu, she just keeps on going because she's a super fucking woman, She can do that. But I felt like that was going to be the case, and she didn't want to go because we had a lot to do, but she
So did your
she
kidney.
didn't hesitate to take me. It was just neither one of us wanted to fucking deal with this, right? We didn't want to have to do it, but she took me to the hospital, and she's like, "Do you want me to? Can you make it in the door? Do you want me to just drop you at the door while I park the car?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's good. That's good." I got out of the car while it was still moving. Went into
Took a
broke my
roll.
leg. No, I didn't break my leg, but I got in the fucking emergency room, and mercifully there was nobody in that waiting room, and that is the literal first time.
It's the only time. That's the packed out. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be there forever.
And this is a Saturday morning, so I figured, oh God, I'm fucked. I'm never going to be able to sit. I'm going to be out in the emergency room, and people are going to be begging them to take me back so they don't have to hear me screaming. I go up to the window and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm making a huge scene right now. I understand that this probably seems like I'm overreacting, but I am in the most incredible pain I've ever had in my life, and I need to see a doctor. And she's like, have you ever had a kidney stone? I'm like, no, but I think maybe that's changing right now. And she goes, yeah, it sounds like it. She's like, come here, get on the scale. Let me get your blood pressure. We'll get you back to your room. So they did.
We're going to weigh you after the stone's out. We'll tell you how
So
much.
we'll
Tell you how much you lost, how much your stone weighed.
We could weigh the stone, but it's not as fun that way.
I go back to the room. Tanya's with me. Of course, I'm just inconsolable. I am literally at this point. I am sobbing. I am crying openly. It hurts so bad, and I mean, I don't think I've ever done that in public. I don't think I've ever cried that hard in my life, much less in public. And I didn't care. It was I could not manage. And they're like, the doctor comes in and he's like, asked me, where can you show me where it hurts? And I did. And he's like, it sounds like you're passing a stone. So let's get you a CAT scan so we can see what's going on in there. And then we'll get you some really good drugs that will make you feel better. And I'm like, bring it on, doc. And so the lady immediately, miraculously, comes in to get me for the CAT. Like 2 minutes later. This is not the hospital I'm used to. And Tyler, you work at this hospital.
You should
so
cry
know
at the
what I'm
hospital
fucking
more
talking
often.
about.
Maybe
I
get
don't
shit
work
done.
at that hospital, but I'm familiar. I have worked at that hospital.
I thought you did.
I work at the other hospital.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I thought you were over by me still.
Nope.
Oh, well, fuck. Shows what I know. Anyway, he knows this place. You know this.
I
Everybody
do.
knows this
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
She comes in, gets me in the wheelchair, wheels me back to get my CAT scan. And so they haven't like put me in a robe or like a gown or anything at this point. They're just dealing with me because I need to be dealt with. And so she rolls me back to the back and she's like, "You sure you didn't want to get your pain meds before we do this?" I'm like, "No, because I don't want something to happen that takes 3 hours to get in. If I could get in now, that's where I'm going." And
Get in. I'm sorry.
to the CAT scan.
Okay.
Because, they get a lot of things going on, and then suddenly I get put to the back of the line because I waited 20 minutes for the medicine and yada, yada,
Gotcha.
yada. So I go into the CAT scan room, and it's her and one other woman, and she's like, "Okay, stand up." And she's like, I'm going to need you to pull your jeans down so that we don't get like your belt buckle and your wallet and all that stuff in the
I've been in this
scan
room recently.
Yeah. And so I wear boxers, and my dick just fell right out. As I pulled out my pants, my dick just popped right out in front of this woman.
Sir,
I'm like,
the medicine will be here shortly.
I'm dying. I'm over here dying in pain, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." And she's like, "It's fine." She's like, "It's fine. It's okay. I understand. It happens. I see kinds stuff like this all the time.
That's
It's
why
fine.
I work in this room.
I like this. I like it. I was going to ask you to show it to me anyway, so you just saved me a step." So she puts me on the thing, and the machine tells me to hold my breath, which I'm like, no problem, because I've been holding my breath a lot.
For sure.
They do the scan. They wheel me back to the room. And I've already got the thing in my arm, the IV lead in my arm, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna give you this to make you not throw up. We're gonna give you this for pain. We're gonna give you Dilaudid."
That's what I was about to ask.
Dilaudid is
I bet
awesome.
they give you Finnegan and Dilaudid.
Dilaudid is awesome. I love it. I wish I could have more. Right now. I want more
a weird thing to say.
Dilaudid right now.
Eat a whole
one's
bunch
ever
of
said
dairy
that
and you'll
before.
get more.
Right. All that calcium, baby. I don't know. But anyway, they gave me the pain medication, and finally I start to feel some relief. I can tell that it's still hurting. It's still there, but it's being numbed by the medicine.
Its jagged edges are shredding your insides.
Yes. And so I finally am able to like lay down on the cot, and I just fucking pass out, sleep. And about 20 or 30 minutes goes by, and I start to feel a little pain again in my side, but it's tolerable. It's manageable. It's nothing like it was. And the doctor comes in, and of course he sees me wincing. He goes, "Are you still in pain?" Like, in other words, we just dosed you with a fuck ton of drugs. How are you still in pain? I'm like, it's okay. I'm fine at this point. And he's like, "Okay, well, we'll get you prescriptions called in for some more pain medicine. We're going to send you home to pass the stone at home." I'm like, "Okay." So I lay there, and this is where I lay there for like 45 minutes. Tanya's in a really hard and comfortable chair. She's having pain already anyway. This is turning into a really bad situation. Finally, now it's getting annoying. It was a really bad situation. Now it's just annoying.
Gotcha.
So I call the nurse, and of course, "What, may I help you?" I'm like, "My pain is manageable. I want to leave."
Ma'am, I showed you my dick. Please
You've
let me leave.
seen my penis.
Oh, is this Dick Boy?
That was
Boy.
yeah. This is. Oh, you're the grower. So anyway, she's like, "Okay," and so someone comes right back and is like, "So you're ready to go? You think you're okay?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not, but whatever." So I get at the medicine. We go. At this point, I'm still drugged up enough, and Tanya has to go to the store. We have to go to the store. So I'm like, "Fuck it, let's just go." So we went to Tractor Supply and Walmart. Got home, and I can't take more drugs until 3 or 4 hours later because of the dosing or whatever. And I'm good. I had a little dinner. We got settled, everything. And right after dinner, it started hitting me again. I'm like, "Fuck, okay, but it's not time for medicine." So I'm like, "Fuck it. I'm getting ready to take some medicine." And it kind of eases off. And I'm like, "You know what? No, fuck this. I'm going to have a shower. I need a fucking shower." And so I go and I get in the shower, and I feel this unbelievably strange, I don't know how to describe the sensation in the tip of my penis. it was like, it wasn't a tingle, but it wasn't painful. It wasn't, but it didn't feel good. It was it was like a cold tingle. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it's something I'd never felt before. And I thought I was done feeling things I'd never felt before. This happened. And then the sensation kind of hung there for a minute, and I'm like, I don't like this. But then it stopped, and then suddenly I was fine. I'm standing in the shower, fine. My back doesn't hurt anymore. Nothing hurts. I feel normal. So I think I passed the stone in the shower.
It sounds like it.
And I got out of the shower and dried off, and I went into the living room, and I was like, look, honey, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I think I'm okay now. And she looked at me like, get the fuck back in the chair. You're not going to, there's no way you're okay. I was like, no, really. I feel
it does
fine.
seem like an odd thing, like just like that.
Yeah, it was instant. Like,
that's how
you
it
know
works,
how
though,
it
right?
feels like when everyone in this room knows what it feels like to get kicked in the balls. But everyone in this room also knows how good it feels when that pain goes away. Like that instant rush of, oh my God, it's not hurting anymore, happened. And I was fine. And I didn't take any more pain medicine the rest of the day. I stayed up until 1 o'clock and watched Beauty and the Beast in ultra 4K.
Hell yeah, was that the first thing you watched?
On
It's the
Gelatin.
first honest to God full Atmos Vision 4K thing I've watched on that TV.
Tale as old as time.
And I literally went, holy shit, this TV is fucking awesome.
Like the first thing after we got this TV hung on the wall, I don't know if it was just on TV or if Tanya played it, but it was the very beginning of Casino Royale came on where it's all black and white and everything. And then like when the point came where it went into color and went into this like action sequence, I was standing there, I was like, I feel like they are standing in the fucking room with me. Like, this is crazy.
People seeing The Wizard of Oz for the first time in 1939 had the same reaction when it went to color. So anyway,
I had a picture of one of Melissa's stones. I was trying to find it.
I watched Beauty and the Beast, and then I went to bed about 1 o'clock. I went ahead and took one of the less powerful pain pills, not the Percocet. I didn't take the Percocet. And
It's weird. I haven't seen any
woke
action
up-
in the barter channel on the Discord.
yet. I'm waiting to see how things play out. Got up the next morning. My back and side is still sore to the touch.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I was walking around for 4 hours pushing on my fucking lower back because of trying to claw out my kidney, you know. And then the stone being, but it was like a 2 to 3 millimeter stone. I didn't even see it. But when they did the CAT scan, they said it's like a 4 millimeter stone, and you don't have any other stones. And by the way, your liver and your prostate and all this other stuff we could see are fine.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good news. But so, and then today, I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to go to work because they say it could take up to 2 weeks to pass a kidney stone, and I'm like, I can't do this for
What
2
the
weeks.
fuck?
I can't be on Percocet for 2 weeks.
You hit the
Seriously?
jackpot, man.
I know, right?
As far as kidney stones go.
I did because I talked to my doctor's office today, and they said, well, you just want to make sure you're drinking lots of fluid and keeping everything going, because there's a possibility you didn't pass it, and if you didn't, it could go back up the other way, and you don't want that to happen, obviously.
No, God, no.
So, but I don't feel like that. I just feel sore from it. So it's going to take a few days, I think, for it to ease off. And so I've decided no more soda. I don't drink a lot of soda, but I'm not going to tempt fate, and I'm going to stop because it'll help me lose weight. I won't drink any more soda, and I got to lay off and apparently not eat as much dairy because of the calcium. But I don't eat a lot of dairy, but I do eat.
Well, they
fair
need to
amount
like
of cheese.
get the stone and then see what kind it is.
Yeah, it's not going to happen because I think it went down the drain.
because
We're
it's
over
either a
here.
uric acid stone or a calcium stone. So you have to
Okay.
change your diet depending on which one. But
Well, what I'm going to do is just try to
Do it all.
not eat like an asshole and drink more water.
no, you got to eat assholes.
well,
that
plenty.
helps.
I'm going to eat
Like an asshole.
I'm going to eat
Like
plenty
is
of
the
assholes.
important-
Simile.
Like and then so that came and went, and that was my adventure this week. And I also watched a movie, not Beauty and the Beast, called Smile 2.
Oh,
I saw the first one.
Have you
First one
seen the
was
first
fucking
one?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the first one, it's helpful to see the first one.
Weird.
It's not necessary per se, but it helps because it picks up pretty much right where the first one left off. And you get what's really good about Smile 2 is that they don't spend a lot of time explaining what's happening to the people in the movie because they assume you've seen it and you know what's happening, right? They do give you a little brief rundown of it later on in the movie, but
I like it when movies do that.
yeah,
When they're just like, there's a 2 in the title.
we have to assume that you saw one.
And if you didn't, you walked into this and it has a 2 on it.
It's your
So, like,
problem.
just figure it out or don't. I mean,
You're under no legal obligation to explain what happened in the first movie.
Right.
Go rent it. But Smile was pretty good. Smile 2 was exceedingly better.
wow. We don't hear that
really,
often.
it's rare, especially in the horror genre, and especially with these sort of movies where it almost feels like they're just coming up with something to make a movie and make a buck and move on. The first one was pretty good. It had Kevin Bacon's daughter in it. I think I mentioned this on the show before when I watched it like last year or whatever. I watched it. But we watched it. It's on Paramount Plus. It's on your streaming platform of choice. And I do recommend it. 3.5 stars. Wasn't say says check it out. It was truly it was one of the scarier movies. This movie had at many points scared me. Like I haven't been legitimately. I mean, there's jump scares in it, but this one had some pretty terrifying shit in it, and not like gross you out terrifying like in The Substance when I explained that one last week or recently. Not like that. It was truly kind of a mind fuck here and there, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. I do recommend it for horror fans, especially. Wasn't say so check it out. That's it for me.
I haven't seen 1 or 2, but I know how 2 ends, and I probably will see the 3rd because that ending is goddamn.
It was unbelievable. Like the ending was, the whole thing was just unexpected. Like the writing in this movie, the acting, the lead actress whose name eludes me at the moment. I'm sorry. Look it up. You have the internet if you're listening to the show. Do the work, people. Come on. What do you want from me?
Unless you're buying the thumb drives from me, in which case
Right.
you're late on your postage
Or the
payment.
Percocets. If you're spending all your money on my Percocets.
I thought you were putting the show on thumb drives and
Yeah.
selling them all.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing,
Yeah,
okay.
COD. I'm going to have to start doing that.
That's how you get it in prison, I think.
Yeah, probably.
That's a great question. Yeah,
They're,
that's-
pass
they're
it around.
smelly thumb drives.
has this been up your ass?
Probably.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Fine. Good.
I paid extra for
that. I wanted it. But the writing, the performance that she gives in this movie is just unfiltered. She has been in a few other things, but this was a command performance as far as I'm concerned. And once again, just like I said about Demi Moore in The Substance, that I don't think, this woman is going to get the recognition she deserves because this is a horror film and they're not going to, a sequel horror film, that one's not going to make it into the Academy Awards, which doesn't matter. But I like when good actors receive the proper recognition, and she deserves every bit of it because she worked her ass off for this movie. It was really, truly surprisingly good. I liked the first one okay. I expected to like the second one
Sure.
okay. I liked the second one a whole lot more. So, Smile 2, check it out. That's it. That's all I'm going to say for the whole rest of the show. Y'all take it from here.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. Me too. God, me too.
I wish I hadn't brought a soda. to drink tonight.
It's the
because
sugar. I could drink that. I just can't
Is it the
drink-
sugar?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. I might be all right then.
You're fine. Don't worry about the soda.
Man,
As long
oh
as you-
boy,
is-
I feel so bad for you. That sounds awful.
it was terrible. It was terrible. It's the worst thing I've ever had to go through. Physical pain is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I hope this isn't a chronic condition because I do not know if I can survive another one. Probably can, but I don't want to have to find out.
You might get really good at it.
My wife's friend has a chronic. She's always passing kidney stones, but she doesn't do anything to fucking try to change her.
No lifestyle
ways.
changes or anything.
Oh, yeah.
it's
Melissa
like-
has them all the time, like all the time.
Really?
The worst being when she had 6 in one and 7 in the other kidney. And they had to break them up then, or she had to get bilateral stents. Like when we
Jesus.
first got married, she said that was like the worst of her life. It was.
The doctor said we want you to pass this normally because we do not want to put a stent in because
Oh, yeah.
they can cause problems too.
She said that's like pain on an entirely different scale, even from a kidney stone. And they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't feel it." She's like, "Fuck you, fuck you, and you, and you, and you."
I always love it when a doctor's like, "You shouldn't feel this."
Yeah,
That's never,
Well, that's weird because I fucking do.
That's never correct.
odd. Are you calling me a liar or what the fuck? They do
As,
that to
as the guy
dermatologists.
is cutting the cysts
Yeah.
out of my face,
Yeah.
no, this shouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, it does.
Yeah,
Am I imagining it?
yeah. I've had some shit burned off at the dermatologist for them to analyze, and they're like, "Oh, can you feel that?" Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, you fucked
You're
up.
cutting it out of me. yeah, you fucked up.
You fucked up. You didn't numb me right. Because yes, I can. No. I didn't fuck up. You can't feel this.
You just feel pain too
Bet you
good.
I can. I bet you I could describe this pain exactly the way it feels. Accurately.
It's also I don't know. It's also nice to feel a little bit of it because otherwise you just hear weird sounds.
I
and
know.
shit.
The
You know what I mean? Where it's like,
clipping and the sewing
Yeah,
and the
it's like-
snipping
yeah.
of things.
is that my skin?
Is
That's
that
weird.
inside me?
Did
You're
you-
taking
yeah.
something out of me. I knew you were going to take something
Yeah.
out of me, but I didn't know it was going to sound like this.
Get to ask him all the creepy questions. What's that smell? Is that my skin burning? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
Weird.
It smells like meat. It is meat.
Bad
And it's
meat.
burning. It's burning meat inside your body. We're burning it.
It smells like it should hurt.
Some
a
of the
lot.
meat we're burning is healthy. Some of the meat we're burning is healthy meat because it's attached to gross meat. So that's delicious, isn't it? You know, those guys on a live.
Smells like it should hurt. It should. It should hurt.
You know those guys on the plane crash in the Andes that had to eat each other when they cooked the flesh?
I bet it smelled better
This
than this.
is what their meals smelled like.
Nah.
Your
They
face
shaved
burning.
them. They shaved them.
yeah.
Add a little pepper, a little salt.
You gotta shave a guy real thin.
You do. You
Real
gotta shave a
thin.
guy. You gotta shave a guy.
I like the lean cuts, not the face cuts. What have you been up to?
None of that. None of that.
Good.
Oh man. Whoo boy.
Sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
I've been
It
playing
sucks.
World of Warcraft.
Oh, I know. I saw your name on my BattleNet.
And you're like, whoa.
I was like, Dave,
Like the
he's
20th
playing.
anniversary or something.
It is. It is. They did 3 fresh servers. They did a PvE server, a PvP server, and a hardcore server.
Nice.
And I created a character on the PvP server. And
Not
then
surprised.
Now is Nikki playing with you?
she is.
Okay.
So I got home on Thursday and I was like, okay, well, I'm home first. So I'm going to make a character. And I made a character. And then a little bit later, Miller had plans to play as well. And Dalton, too. Dalton, Guitar Man Dalton.
Hashtag more Miller.
From the Steam Machine podcast. And so he and I create our characters on Horde. And then I get a message from Miller saying, hey, I can't create a character because, like, Horde is locked. Because they're doing this thing where they're like, they're balancing it. Yeah, which is like,
I know about Blizzard's balance.
I get it. But y'all, this is classic.
Right? It's
You
supposed
see-
to be a fucking
Yeah.
You see,
massive
20 years ago,
free-for-all.
that shit didn't fucking matter. But whatever. I didn't play it then. I wasn't playing 20 years ago. But so it's like, okay, well, fuck, all right.
I was.
And then you were playing. Did you play when it first came out?
Right
I didn't know that, man.
At launch.
Yeah.
Me and the kids played a little bit. Gage was more watching than anything.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what I was doing because I was looking for the next Ultima.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't finding it.
Yeah, and you probably never will.
Never
Unfortunately,
will.
I haven't found it at least.
Go ahead.
I've been
sorry,
looking.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I mean, you want to talk about Ultima?
Yeah, I do actually. Would love that actually.
We can do that instead of my fucking intro.
do another Ultima
way,
episode.
Way more interesting.
We
For
just
sure.
talk about old Ultima shit.
You guys did an Ultima episode.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Before I hosted is when I came as a
Okay.
guest to talk about it.
That's a really good one.
So anyway, balance.
Yeah, so we decided to fuck it, and then go. We just created characters on the PvE server
Okay.
because we could all get in. You know, everybody could get
you wanna
in.
play with people.
Yeah.
Right.
So we did that. And man, I can tell you that it is crazy how chill versus no chill, like switching those servers was. Cause it's like, you don't really even start PvPing on a PvP server until like, I don't know, level
It's like-
12.
You're like level 12.
But even
13.
like at level 1, I mean, it is just like, whoa, this server is fucking toxic as shit. Holy fuck, man.
apparently people have been waiting for this.
Just people in chat, they're just, yeah, they have been waiting. They're like, finally, I can expel all the thoughts from my body. Just type.
everything that would have gotten me banned before, I'm gonna let out.
And then, yeah, on the PvE server, it's like, it's pretty chill, except, man, I didn't play WoW in 2004. I did play it in like 2006. I don't remember it being nonstop fucking politics talk. Like, it's nonstop. It's fucking nonstop in
Really?
general and trade. It's just like, cool, I'm
Really?
gonna move this chat to that tab and fucking forget about it forever.
I'm here to play a game.
Because wow, yeah, this is like it's like it's too
trying
much.
to get away from this
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Play this to escape, man. Come on.
And it is fucking not. That's for sure. I mean, it is just every time I go, like every time I'm like, I wonder what's going on in this tab. Click. Yeah, okay, still going. Still
Opening the
going.
bag with says dead dove. Don't know what I expected.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna rename the chat window. Dead Dove. I'm doing that. But yeah, man, I've been playing as because I'm me, I rolled 2 different characters.
Sure.
One that I play when Nikki feels like playing, and then the other one that I level when she doesn't feel like playing.
At your pace.
Right. Which is they're both the same level. So
Okay.
it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I could probably take a break and not do anything. But whatever. It's fun and exciting right now. It is crazy to like go into a fucking starting area at a game that I didn't play at launch, but I remember going back to these areas because you start in those areas regardless. And it's like these areas were fucking packed, man. You got like 25 people fighting over a boar to spawn, like a fucking boar. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was fucking madness.
I remember when it was like that originally. Like it was like that then. And of course, I was not terribly familiar with the interface. It was all kind of new to me. And
Yeah.
I was still coming off of Ultima or whatever.
Sure.
And I remember getting in and thinking, well, God, how the fuck are we any of us gonna ever get to move forward? Because it was like a stadium packed full of people all fighting over the one thing that spawned. As soon as a fucking animal would spawn, dead.
Yeah.
Plus 1 XP, or something.
It's cool though. I mean, I loved it. Like that first night was just like, holy shit, this fucking rules. Because it was just people
chaos.
everywhere and like people coming up and they're like, invite. And it's like, fuck yeah. Invite. Let's get these boars together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what I was saying about Overwatch Classic when John and I jumped in and they're playing the old theme and the old characters out of the old
nostalgia.
powers, and they're saying the old voice lines that we haven't heard in 8 years, and things. You know, that gave me those feels too. You know, that kind of excitement, which is nice.
It's just nice to see. It's just nice to see so many people in a fucking low level area, like fucking and this low level gear. But then like I go back yesterday because there was something I needed to do in that area for like a shaman quest, and it's like, holy shit, this is already a fucking ghost town because everybody's just fucking chewed through that content.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, we're in different zones now.
Yep.
Miller's tearing through it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking fast.
Yep.
He doesn't
Fucking
do half
fast,
measures.
dude. Because it was like,
Having no kids will do that for you.
I mean, it was, yeah.
Don't we know it?
But yeah, it's been fun. Been playing as a shaman with Nikki. She's been playing a warrior. So we got the tank heals combo. And then the character that I really enjoy playing is I have a Forsaken mage. Mage. I never played mage before. It's fucking super fucking fun. It's like really, really fun.
Now, is this going on indefinitely? I mean, is this now an option, or you can play pretty much ongoing?
They're gonna it is gonna turn into the Burning Crusade.
Okay,
like I
that's
think
about where I stopped playing.
that's when I came on. I came on to the Burning Crusade.
Damn, we just missed each other.
So yeah, I think they're gonna do that in like a year.
Okay.
But yeah, people are fucking. It's crazy because it's like I see people who are already like level like 35 and shit, and it's like, damn, dude, like holy shit.
How?
How do you do that and masturbate?
That is a really good question. I don't know,
Gotta stop at some point, one or the other.
but it's been fun. And then I also have been playing a little Diablo 1 solo, and man, that game, I fucking love that game. The game is so fucking good.
I never played the first one. I've heard from you and from many other people how good it was, but I never played the first one. I played the second one.
I do strongly believe that Diablo 1 is totally one of those where it's like if you started on 2, you're not
going to be able to go back.
I don't think you're going to love 1. And
I can see that because I started on Quake 2, and when I went and tried to play Quake 1, it did not have the same feel, and I didn't really. It was okay.
Yeah, but they feel totally different.
Oh, this is quaint. Get me back to the railgun arena.
Right. Well, see, that's how I felt when I played Quake 2 stock. Is because we play like Rail Arena so much.
Yeah,
that
we have
playing Quake
mods.
2 stock was just like, what the fuck is this?
sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Is this a pistol? What is the fuck? I don't want a pistol. I want a handgun.
This is
Fuck
bullshit
this BFG
grapple.
shit. I get one shots with flying through the air. Fucking.
But Diablo 1 is like so different because it's slower, but it's also like it's not an open world. It's like a fucking tunnel. It's like you are tunneling level by level. It's a dungeon crawler.
Right. Okay.
And I know there are dungeons in the other games, but it's like in Diablo 1, it's like it's just the dungeon. Like that's anything you fight is going to be in this fucking dungeon. And what's fun about it is like I got in this I'm playing a warrior in that game, and it's like I got in this situation where it's like I'm on the fucking going through floors, just tearing through it. It's like I got some really good drops, and it's like this fucking rules, like a fucking unique armor. It's just like this is fucking like this shit had never happened to me, you know,
Right.
like when I was playing this and cheating. I'm not cheating this time.
Right.
Diablo 1 trainers, man. It's fucking wild thing. But like, so I get in the situation where it's like, man, I'm kicking ass. It's like I get to the butcher, go toe to toe with him, like fucking destroy him. It's like, this is great. This is going to be fantastic. Get down to like the 12th floor, and it's like I die to this like mob of like these acid spitting creatures. And the way it works in Diablo 1 is, well, your shit's gone, dude. Unless you go and get it, it's fucking gone. It's like Dark Souls. It's like your shit's gone, man. It's fucking go get it. And then so it's like this situation where it's like, all right, fine. I'm just like, you lose all the shit you're holding. So you lose all your gold, all your equipment. And it's just like, I take it back. You don't lose all your gold. You keep a portion of it. So you're just buying fucking shit off the fucking smith. Or it's fine. I can take all this crappy shit, and then you go fucking crawl back down to where you were, and then you die again, and then you're like, fuck, and then you're back down. You're like, all right, well, I'll buy crappier shit so I can go try to get my shit. And then that happened 4 times.
Oh, no.
But then you get it, and you're like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Thought you could stop me.
You're wrong.
Larry David inhabited your body in that moment. Fuck you.
You're like, fuck you.
That's the best. That's what makes that game so much different than the other games. And it's like, because I feel like Diablo 1 puts you in this situation where it's like, well, I mean, you can quit if you want to, but you're like, you're gonna like, if you close this right, because I'm fucking.
Oh, so if you exit the game, your shit's gone for good.
Because I'm masochistic
right?
about this shit, and I play single player Diablo and multiplayer. So what that means is that yes, there's no saving.
Yeah.
It's like if you exit that shit, it's like okay, that's wiped.
Right.
But I like to play it that way.
Right.
I don't have to play it. I'll be fucking perfectly honest with you. I have no idea how it's handled in the actual single player game because I have never played it.
Right.
I've played it alone, solo, but I always do it in multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
And that was because back in the day, people could just join your game. So I would be like, well, fuck, I'll just play again and people can join in and I can kill them. So it's like, so that's why I always play. No one joins this game because it's like fucking impossible.
Right.
Like you gotta like, everybody has to have a fucking port open and it's like,
Oh, yeah. You've got to make modifications to your router.
BattleNet is so old that it's like, enter your username and it's like, it's your character's name in the game. It's like whatever you input. So I don't even know if that works or not. But anyway, that's my Diablo 1 shit.
Nice.
It's been fun.
I've been up to very little, as usual, and that's okay.
You got a new TV?
I got a new
Hey!
TV. My buddy Ian gave me a sweet ass TV.
Hell
so
yes.
It's definitely the biggest and brightest TV that I've ever owned.
What's the first thing you watched on it?
Some fucking old shit, I bet. Some Deep Space Nine.
I have watched
4x3. It took up like, the middle of this half of,
240p.
I can see the pixels or the scan.
These black
scan
bars on the side
lines.
are great.
Well,
Man,
they're
that black
a
is
true
crisp.
black now, and they weren't before. They're like a deep black. Yeah, so much
These
better.
bars are Vanta Black. Goddamn.
So much better.
No, my TV has Vanta black bars. It's crazy.
But yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I put up a shitload of Christmas lights.
Really?
A lot of Christmas lights.
Yeah, he's got
I
a
put
lot
up
of
so
lights
many
on his
Christmas lights. I woke up the next morning and felt like I was sore, like I had done some shit.
You
know,
did.
like-
You put up Christmas
Yeah, but
lights.
I mean, not really. I mean, I did, but still, it was just like, man, I remember this feeling. Yeah, this is.
Were you on the
had,
roof
like-
and shit?
I did.
Yeah,
spend
you're gonna
a
be-
little bit
I
of
mean,
time on the roof.
He outlined his
sore.
house in Christmas lights, basically.
It's-
The house, the
Yeah, for the
windows,
most part.
and the roof, and the
I can't do
gutters
the
and-
ridge line. I can't find a good way to do the ridge line on top of the roof because I don't have a ridge vent. So there's like really nothing
just a
to
roof.
get a hold of except for trying to slide shit under the shingle, and fuck that. I am not
No,
asking for
don't do
that.
that. Fuck no.
No.
So, I mean, I could go like full Clark Griswold and staple shit, but I don't think
That's-
that's a good idea either. So-
Yeah.
If you do that, just leave them up. And pray,
Oh yeah,
and
they'll
pray they
stay
come
up
on
there.
next year.
I was thinking about getting one of those tension wires like we
Oh, at my house.
put at your
Yeah.
house.
All right.
Just go right across the top of the house.
Hear me
you can
out.
do
Something to
that.
hook onto.
Let's develop RGB shingles.
Oh. Trademark.
Yeah,
trademark.
trademark.
It doesn't always have to be fucking like crazy colors. You
Right,
can just go
yeah.
taupe on your roof shingle color app.
Like
God,
they
that
look
sounds
like that.
awesome.
They're like
You know some
visible in
fucking
the
rich people
daytime.
buy that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like a purple roof today.
Yeah, that would be
Trademark,
That would
trademark.
be pretty sweet. You know, people be like showing images and shit on it though.
Oh, that'd be even better.
Just
You're like, hey, you want to go watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on my roof?
Yeah, or like the house that Brandon and I buy together, and it's just like we're just gonna put porn on this fucking roof all day until the cops show up.
You want a special brand of anarchy?
what law would you be breaking? I guess is probably just copyright infringement.
Yeah.
This is all homemade.
Did you
sorry.
pay for this porn, sir? Did you pay for this?
I made
You
it.
have the light. I own this. That's me.
Gets back in the patrol car.
This is Edge Mix 2013. This is mine.
Hey, I've seen this one.
Sir, this is the Pain Olympics.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to.
Oh boy.
It's just a bunch of guys getting kidney stones and then trying to run.
No, so yeah, that's about it. Thankfully, I've had no major medical issues. I did have to take my wife to get a colonoscopy. That was
Is that what
awesome.
you're calling it now?
Oh, I wish. No, I did joke with her about doing some butt stuff though, because you know,
It's nice and fresh.
Now that you're
you're
all
all
cleaned
cleaned
out. Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no more leaves in the gutter. Why don't we?
let's run some water through there.
I heard a podcast with Lisa Ann on it, and she talked about that. She's like, for a good 12-hour window after my colonoscopy, like I'm good. I help those 12 hours.
I did. So they estimate, and I've still got to go, I'm sure, round and round with some insurance companies, but they estimate that it'll only cost $1,300.
Out of your pocket?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be zero.
Love
Mine came out to zero because it was a screening, but I think they didn't code his as a screening. So
Yeah,
hers,
so-
I should say, and so they're gonna have to. He's gonna have to fight for it.
Yeah, that should be fun. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty good. Not, but yeah, that's about it. Just Christmas lights and
Colonoscopy.
colonoscopies. She handled it pretty well. She had a totally different prep than Ian had. I heard the horror story.
God.
I expected it to be super bad, and they were just like, "Nah, man, take a bunch of this Miralax." That was pretty much.
I'm gonna
it. It's,
ask for that.
Like
next
4
time.
Dulcolax tablets at certain times, and it's fine.
I have to go back in 6 months. I found out today. I have to get another one in 6 months. So I'm gonna request a different prep.
This podcast is depressing.
It's getting that way. I've spent more time in the hospital in the last month than I have in the last 10 years, if not longer.
It is 100 years old, this podcast, in podcast years.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I mean, it does
That's
make
true.
sense.
Yeah.
But no, how about you? How about you, Tyler? What you been up to?
Let's see. I think last week I talk about how good the Penguin is.
You did.
Talk
You
about
did.
that again.
Yeah.
The Penguin is still fucking great. I
need to
highly
watch
advise everybody to see it.
That's on my list. I cannot wait to see it.
I started Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice.
Nice.
I created Pudge Higginbottom, which is my arcane trickster from Dave's game. We played it with John. Probably my favorite D&D character I've ever played. So made him. I read Arcane Trickster sucks, but I was like, oh well, that's
Really?
what it is. So I'm into
That's-
it.
yeah.
So it's the game's problem, not mine. I'm gonna enjoy playing an Arcane Trickster. I've been enjoying that. Haven't made it very far. I think I just I can see Asterion waiting outside for me. So and that's where I stopped.
Hey, I just want to say that, I know that you are good at playing D&D. Just in general, you're good at playing the game. But if luck were a thing that you could use up, like an expendable resource, you would have had none left after playing that character. That character was the luckiest fucking character I've ever known.
Yep.
And I haven't played in that many games, but
Yep.
holy shit. It's like...
It's the only
you can
character I've
count
ever
on-
talked shit with and then gotten to back it up. Normally that happens, you just get fucking stomped.
He's like, you
Like
can count on. He's gonna come through. He's
the
gonna come
first
through.
the first
He's going to roll a
session-
17. Watch.
Watch.
He did. He rolled a 17. He won't do it 8 more times this session. Yeah, no, he did. He rolled 17.
that
17
fucking
8
cylinder,
times.
man. I don't know what was
That
wrong with
barrel
those
dies.
I don't even know where that is, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Oh, you
Yeah.
need to frame that dice.
Or clone it.
Let's see. And then I purchased today the Castlevania Dominus collection, which is the DS Castlevanias.
Cool.
So the Order of Ecclesia, Portrait of Ruin, Dawn of Sorrow, which Portrait of Ruin, I love all three of them. I love, especially Portrait of Ruin. So I bought that just because at some time I want to stream Portrait of Ruin. So that's on there to do that. Other than that, I forced myself to put in as much time as I could bear on Beauty and the Beast. So I played that for too long.
It's always good when you
No,
have to
that's
force
weird.
yourself to do something.
Also feel like I played it for too long.
Played it till I
Me
was like,
too.
Weird.
I don't want
I
to do
bet
this
we all played
anymore.
at different amounts, and it still felt like too long to all three.
Like-
of us.
Well, it felt like too long pretty early on for me.
I played through the fuck it stage, which is normally where I quit, but I played through it like I at least want to make it to a boss. So I made it to a boss.
You made it farther than I did.
I was just like,
Same. Me
okay.
too.
Which is a third of the way. I played through 33% of the game.
Damn.
That's a
It's
lot.
like I know how the other 66% goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys want to roll on into the game, movie and game?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
We're at about an hour. We
The
can do
movie talk. I watched this movie a fucking lot as a kid. Fucking lot.
I had never seen it before Friday night
Yeah.
or Saturday night.
Really?
Hollins
Yep.
would let you watch
Believe it or not.
Yeah, Disney movies I could
Movie was
see.
a good-
Was it because you liked it or because you had was it a situation where
had
you
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents wouldn't take me out to see movies, but if I could get my hands on a VHS cassette, then I watched the
Wear it out. Yeah.
So I watched that movie a lot, and I feel like it is also one of Disney's more problematic messaging of a lot of their older stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
not
know.
wrong,
It's-
but it's not as heavy-handed as some of their stuff.
It's kind of the fairy tale, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like I
it's
don't know what
based
Disney.
on a French fairy tale.
I don't know what Disney changed because I never read the fairy tale.
I haven't either. There's probably a lot more sex in it.
French.
I mean, I would hope so. There wasn't any in this
East
cartoon I watched,
Just a level of sex for
G-rated cartoon had zero sex,
but it had
appeal.
blood.
It was
Too,
blood.
I saw blood twice, and I was like, "Fuck, man, there's blood in this. Fuck yeah."
It's metal.
Well, I can't name another Disney cartoon where it's like, "There's blood in that twice."
Is there blood in Bambi?
Well, God, I hope not.
Probably not more.
In my-
more than once.
Oh man,
Hey, she made it.
I'm pretty sure when Thumper fucks that other brown bunny, there's like blood in that. I think that's it.
yeah.
Thumper, it's her first time. Go easy.
can't. I've already gotten started.
She's touching my belly. I can't.
I like this movie. Part of it for me was I just never watched it because it just never came up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've watched a lot of Disney movies, most of them, honestly, up to a point. But this one just didn't catch my attention, and back then, and I was 18. 19 years old when this came out, so it wasn't really appealing to me. And then after that, all we've ever had is boys in our family, so the boys haven't ever really gone out of their way to want to watch Beauty and the Beast.
I feel like Beauty and the Beast is a hard sell for
It is.
a boy, and I think that's why there's blood in it twice. Because I remember I watched this as a kid, and I remember being like, "Yep, all right." I mean, hey, I didn't not enjoy that, but I'll probably never see it again until I'm 42, and I was right.
Yeah,
Because the second time I saw it was last night.
right. And we had very little cost to watch it, but I was able. First of all, I'm an overly emotional 51-year-old man who was coming off of some pretty hard drugs. I I really enjoyed this movie.
You know, when you put it that way,
I had a good time. Tanya had already gone to bed, and I went ahead and hooked my AirPods up to our Apple TV and watched it with my noise canceling headphones in. And so I could hear everything really well, and it was like the music was good.
Yeah.
I recognized the songs. I had heard the songs before because I've been to Disney World since Beauty and the Beast has come out. And I mean, you get to a part, at the point in the park where there's nothing but Beauty and the Beast, and you walk into the shop and they're playing the fucking soundtrack from it.
It feels like a
Be Our Guest. Even the Beauty and the Beast song played on the radio back then, nonstop. I mean, it was a pop single.
Dude, I remember, I never watched this movie when it came out, but I remember the marketing.
It was a big deal.
Was crazy.
It was insane. It was everywhere. I think they did a McDonald's promotion. And I think of course, the Beauty and the Beast, that song was on the radio, and of course, Be Our Guest. And then there was just all the songs were familiar to me enough. And I've always liked kind of musicals, you know. I like musicals, okay, depending on the subject matter. But I thought that it was, of course, I told you it was in glorious 4K. And boy, they upscaled the shit out of that movie because it looked so beautiful. And I had forgotten honestly how good Disney is at animation, like cell shaded animation, and not the 3D stuff. All that's great, but man,
was this a Renaissance era Disney movie? Like, where does this fall? Do you know?
1991, I think it was.
It is right around the time when they're
this
big,
Aladdin,
all that stuff.
Lion King, Little
yes,
Mermaid.
Yes, it fell right in that zone. And boy, they're just so good at it, and the colors and the details and everything that they put into
The background art in this movie, I think, is really, really good.
Beautiful,
And
the
like a lot of
ballroom and the village and the castle.
The castle, and even like the shots in like the village where it's like it's done like a movie. Like it's done like very cinematically, but then like as a kid I didn't really think about it, but like as an adult I'm like, wow, they fucking like they designed that background the way that it is to make it look like it was like a long wide shot that sweeps to another long wide shot. And it's like they had to like really think about that. I mean, obviously when you're using a camera filming, you have to think about that too. But it's just impressive to be like, yeah, they planned this out like a movie. Like they planned this out like shots, and it's like modern day shots, you know. I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah, I did too, and I really enjoyed it. But from a technical standpoint, I was able to really enjoy it. And then I also liked the story. I thought it was cute, and I thought it had all of the stuff, you know, the ups and the downs and the sad moment and the triumphant end and the...
Now, sorry to interrupt. Were there voice actors in this that I would have recognized?
Do you recognize the name Robbie Benson?
No.
Okay, well, he was Beast.
Okay.
Paige O'Hara.
Negative.
Belle. Angela Lansbury.
Now, that one we discussed previously. Yeah, she brings the gravitas.
Mrs. Potts, the tea kettle. Do you know the name Jerry Orbach?
You would know his face.
You would
know
his
Jerry
face.
Orbach's face. I had no idea it was him until I watched a
his face.
TikTok
Okay.
of him doing it,
Jerry
his actual
Orbach,
performance in the booth, and it was just like,
The
God
booth?
damn,
Wait,
he is
the
so
booth?
good
Yes,
as Lumiere.
he's the candle, Lumiere.
Because he's on Law and Order. He's like the big guy on.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Look up David Ogden Stiers.
I know that guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, he
I'm a
played-
MASH fan, so I know
Okay.
that. It's David Ogden Stiers.
Stiers, excuse me.
He was on an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, by the way. Walks on a Troy, falls in love with him, and then he ends up.
Yes,
having
I
kids.
remember.
Yeah. Sorry.
Who did he play in the movie?
Cogsworth.
Okay, was he a clock in Star Trek?
Yes.
Okay.
Clock person. He was,
It's in his contract. His writer
Right.
states that he must always and only ever play a clock.
His-
In fact, at the end of the movie, when the spell is broken and Cogsworth turns into a person again, he's checked the fuck out. They had to get another guy to do it.
Oh, I thought he was just clock parts inside.
Oh, he's literally a clock. Yeah.
it's really weird watching a clock perform surgery, but if you watched him in MASH, you would have seen that.
He's like the sister in Toys.
Yes. There's various and sundry other actors and actresses in this movie.
I figured that it would have had like, considering how much marketing there was for it and how much, how big a movie it was.
Well,
I figured there would have been like really well-known stars.
I
kind of like
say that,
there is today.
Yeah.
Usually when there's a big animated movie, it's got some people.
Yeah, they're
reading
using voice actors who really shouldn't be in it as opposed to quality voice talent because they would have been celebrity. Yeah,
probably.
well,
Chris
and
Pratt.
They got Paige Moore. She was kind of a find for Disney. Her singing voice is fucking beautiful and unbelievable. It's a really good. Her singing voice is amazing, but I think honestly, the only thing she's ever done in her entire career has been voicing Belle. So she's been in, the Beauty and the Beast, like Belle's Magical World, like the TV cartoon.
Did y'all check any of those out?
Enchanted.
Oh boy.
She was the voice of Belle in Ralph Breaks the Internet when all the Disney princesses, they got her to be Belle. All of that's just basically been her entire career. So I think that's shaped. I think she was a find for that movie. But so I thought it was a fun movie. I loved the Beast's expressions. They really, again, Disney has this magical way of drawing expressions of comedy or funny expressions or something where you've got this big mean guy and then suddenly he like kind of winces like in embarrassment or something, and it's just it's one of those things. It's the same as when I watched Aladdin and the same as when I watched The Lion King. I could say, God damn, they are good at their job. Disney may be a vile, evil corporation for the most part, but they were making some really great movies in the 90s.
So Disney started out by making animations, and it reminded me of this bit that I saw of this comedian, and he's like, you ever go to a friend's house? They don't have Hunt's, or they don't have Heinz ketchup. You're like, I can't, like, what the fuck, man? You could have just called and I could have picked up some Heinz ketchup. We could have all had Heinz ketchup, but no, you got to make a statement. He's like, he's like, I want ketchup that was made by a giant corporation that was built on making fucking ketchup. And it's like, that's Disney. They're a giant
Heinz
corporation,
ketchup.
but they were built on fucking
This is their
animation,
thing.
and they're real good at it.
And I sometimes lose sight of that. So I was really kind of glad that we got this time around because I got to see a movie that I had never watched all the way through, and I got to appreciate it again. Kind of maybe the magic that a lot of people felt when they first went and saw it. Maybe at the time it wasn't for me, but now I really did have a good time watching it.
You have sold me. I'm ready to watch it. I'm ready to watch it. I need some drugs. And then I'm going to watch it, and then I bet I experience.
You just want
what
reason
people.
to do drugs.
I want to watch it with you.
In this, when they watched it for the first time.
But Dave, did you watch the TV series?
Yeah, I wanted to check it out because spoiler. I'm about to spoil the end of Beauty and the Beast for anybody who cares.
I've already done that.
The Beast. Oh yeah, sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. The Beast turns back into a man. And so
Shock Pikachu
on Disney Plus, I did a search for Beauty and the Beast. I wasn't like intuitively like I know where to find Beauty and the Beast by navigating through the categories. So I typed it in, and it popped up some other Beauty and the Beast shit. So when the movie was over, I was like, well, there's some other shit here. And I looked at Nikki and was like, but he's a beast in him. So like, did he turn back into a beast, or does this take place like in between Belle turning into a prisoner and then like, so we turn it on and I didn't fucking find the answer out because I was like, no, I'm not going to watch this.
That's all the
People
filler
just
that
wanna
happens
see
while the
Beast.
Stockholm sets in.
Right.
So you got to have time to develop that.
Maybe that's just like his superpower. He can just turn into Beast whenever
Now
he
he
wants.
can
Now
turn
he's like,
fuck. That'd be pretty badass.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because I
right?
told Nick we were watching it and I was like, I gotta be honest with you. If I were a fucking beast, I would straight up be like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna be a beast. I'm sorry, all you servants who got turned into clocks and shit, but like, this is kind of badass for me.
And y'all seem to be coping really well, so we're gonna just go ahead and stay.
Yeah.
This way.
I've seen the
Cool.
TikToks, and then I confirmed with Melissa because on TikTok, a lot of people are talking about like, oh, we're excited to see the Beast turn back, and then they're disappointed because they thought the Beast was more attractive than what he turns
He
into.
is.
He is.
And Melissa was like, yeah, he was better as the Beast.
Yeah, and I do feel like Disney was like, "Oh man, dude, Behemoths in Final Fantasy look so badass. Let's make like a brown one, and he's a person. He's the Beast.
So if
He's a brown one. He's a brown Behemoth.
Behemoth.
A brown
Behemoth.
a brown hemoth.
A brown. If you don't mind, I'm going to just as a little explanation of the story. I'll lay this out a little bit. Since John hasn't seen it either.
I'm plugging my ear holes like right now.
No. I'm going to give you the introduction to
okay.
it, just
Okay,
what it's
please.
about. So basically, what it is like a long time ago. There's this, and I've got a question that I have to ask after this. So you guys can help me with this.
Okay.
A long time ago, after there was this prince in this big castle, and this old ugly woman showed up in a rainstorm and asked for shelter. And the prince, being a snotty piece of shit, said, "Fuck you,
French.
you can't stay." It's French.
He's just French.
He said, "Fuck you." And he said, with the chin. And he said, "You can't come in here and stay here. Gross old woman, I don't want you in my house, in my castle." And she's like, "But I've got this rose. I'll give you this rose as payment if you'll let me stay in your castle tonight." And he's like, "Didn't I just say, get the fuck out?" I'm quoting, by the way. This is the movie.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna
I'm
say
reading
that's-
it line
a
from
wild
line.
ass
Get
Disney
the
Disney.
fuck out. Yeah, bitch.
Said
Did I
the
stutter?
prince.
Did I
Did I fucking stutter? I don't want your fucking rose. I want you to get the fuck out of my house. She's like, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole." And by the way, I'm not an old woman. I'm a beautiful princess.
Enchantress.
An enchantress. She's gorgeously beautiful. And she's like, "And now, since you're such a prick, I'm turning you into a beast." And
And instead of being like, sweet,
he's like, "Oh
I'm sad."
God, I'm ugly. I'm so ugly. People are scared of me, and I'm ugly. I live in this massive, awesome castle with unlimited food and things to wait on me, but I'm ugly."
And now my carriage is like a cool fucking spider instead of some dumb thing pulled by a horse.
He said,
I'm going to punish
so-
all the innocents in this castle as well.
And she said-
That was her. That was on her. That's her, man. That's that fucking enchantress. Sorry to jump
No, you're
in,
good. No,
but I turned to Nikki and I was like, you know who the real fucking villain is? It's that fucking enchantress who's like, I'm gonna punish you, and you know what? All the people who work for you.
Right. Your whole ass
What's
castle.
that boy,
The
8
fuck
years
did they
old?
do?
Well, he's a cup
He's a
now,
cup now.
and he's frozen in time
won't
until
age.
everybody he knows is dead.
Will he-
Then we'll unfreeze him, and he's a child at a
So-
time.
Will his
So-
mom teach him about love? No, she refuses.
So here's what happens. She says, I'm gonna turn you into this horrible beast until you can learn to love, but also you have to make someone love you. And you have until this magical rose that I tried to give you, until the last petal falls off of this rose. And that will happen on your 21st birthday. If you haven't found love by your 21st birthday, this rose's last petal will fall and you will remain a beast forever.
But that rose stays
Because
alive.
then you can lock
that whole
someone down with
time?
alcohol.
It's
once you're
magic.
21.
Oh, it's magic.
It
It's
just
magic.
floats
Sense,
in
yeah.
it floats in a little glass dome, and he covets the rose and he keeps the rose safe, and all this other
Mr.
stuff.
Freestyle.
Mr. Freestyle, like he's really into this rose because it's his ticket to not being a beast, because he doesn't like himself, and so he apparently the enchantress now, as they've said, punishes everyone in the fucking castle. So, but they all still wait on him and love him and try to talk him into how they're working an angle on him. So they're like, all right, we're going to take the friendly approach and try to help this guy get some and have someone fall in love with him. So he will turn. So
Is he still
will,
a
quote
dick?
unquote, yes. He's
Oh, yeah,
still a
he's
dick.
After
still a
he's the
dick.
beast, he's still
He's
a
still
dick.
Yeah.
and he has to learn to love John. But everyone's scared of him because he's a beast and he roars
And
at
he's a
people.
dick.
And he was an asshole to begin with.
Yes.
Now he's a beast asshole.
So now he's a real asshole. Only he's like massive and super powered, right? But so that is the the premise of the story. He has until
He
so
fights
here's-
wolves like Jacob York wishes he could.
Here's my question. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he took on a lot of wolves.
But
Like two
they took
two at
they,
a time?
they got a piece of it.
Is that like one wolf after the other, or is that two at the same time?
This was like
I feel like
15,
it probably doesn't matter, but I'm just curious.
This was 15 wolves. So I
15
don't think
wolves?
Jacob could
Oh,
fight
man.
15 wolves.
Only one way to find out.
Let's get him. Get him, boys. So my question. I said I had a question.
Right.
Based on what I have just said.
I'm not working on achievements. Yeah.
Okay. At one point in the movie, Lumiere, Jerry Orbach, states that they have been in this form for 10 years, waiting
Right.
for the right woman to come along.
Right.
Okay. At the beginning, if you'll remember, I mentioned that it was his 21st birthday is when it's supposed to happen by.
Yeah.
Now, by the time this movie happens, the rose is starting to lose its petals. So we can assume at this point that he's 21.
I don't know. See, when you were telling the story, I didn't realize that it was explained that it was his 21st birthday.
It says that in the little scroll at the
Okay.
beginning when they tell the story of the enchantress and they're showing the
I see where you're
stained
going
glass.
with this then. Okay.
That means he was 11 years old when he was an asshole to the old woman who then turned him into a massive beast. So he was a child?
But his parents aren't animated in anything in the castle, so he was running this shit. He was running this show at 11.
I think there was what is it?
A disparity?
A disparity.
The math isn't mathing.
Because there's no way he was 11, but they said they'd been in this form for 10 years. So maybe I heard 21st birthday, but remember, I had my noise canceling headphones
Right.
on, and I could actually hear, and I had subtitles going.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I turned them off because I couldn't stand to see him over that beautiful Ultra 4K high definition.
I had closed captioning on, and it's super annoying on Disney Plus.
It's
I can
so
tell you that.
huge.
Yeah, because even Henry was like, "Why is it covering up
You gotta
like so
edit
much
it.
of the
You
screen?"
can change it.
And I was like, "I don't know. I'm too lazy to look it up."
Anywho.
Confirmed, 10 years. Christopher Lee said for his 21st birthday.
So that
And
would
the Be Our Guest song Lumiere says 10 years.
That would make him 11 years old when the enchantress cursed him.
Maybe the enchantress was his mom.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
And she-
Mom.
And she was like, "I know this will work out." And if it doesn't, he's a sweet beast. He just doesn't understand how cool it is yet.
He's a sweet piece of beast.
Yeah. But his 22nd birthday, he'll understand how
Get
cool
it.
it is.
Get
Yeah.
it. Yep. So anyway, that was my little bit of weird, like, what the fuck, how, because they didn't, the stained glass guy wasn't 11.
Well, it's also like, what is this? If we were to guess, 17th century?
Probably.
I mean, he's 21. He's got like 5 more years left in him, right? I mean, I'm sure
As
like
a
He was
beast, though,
royalty.
he'll be
He was
perfectly
royalty,
healthy.
so probably 10.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. So like all like
Maybe it-
11 I feel like the world was run by 11-year-olds.
ripe
back
old
then.
age of 31 before he dies. So that was, I thought, a little bit weird. So
Yeah.
we either leave out the 10 years part or leave out the 21st birthday part.
Fuck, right. Yeah, totally.
One or the other could
that's
go
weird.
and we'd be fine, but I caught this and now I can't let it go.
Why and how like he,
You're going to be on the Beauty and the Beast subreddit.
I've already started a podcast. I'm Beast.
We're going to dive deep into.
Yeah.
your beast on this podcast?
Uh-huh.
Can I be Lumiere? Is that his name?
Yeah, sure.
What's a good name?
I looked at the woman when she was sleeping in the room. No, she has 3 holes. I have 3 candlesticks. Coincidence? No.
I can close them out anytime I want, but I choose not to. She just has to deal.
You see, he's like the horniest character I've ever
He
seen in a
is
Disney
truly
cartoon,
the-
right?
And
I
what's
mean,
what's even better is like the maid.
All the hot broomsticks.
The maid is,
Shit.
a, is
Yeah,
a
the
dust-
feather dusters.
The maid is a feather duster, right?
the
And
fucking
so
like
when they all get
scene where she's
turned-
getting plucked.
yeah, It's like
ugh.
when they all turn back to people, Lumiere's like a big dork,
Yeah,
and the maid
and she is
hot.
not. Yeah.
But she's still got the hots for Lumiere, so
Yeah.
he'd been tickling something right while
Well,
she
that's
was a feather duster.
that's like Sleepy Hollow. They were all nuts for Ichabod Crane, so they're pushing that skinny dork angle.
They were getting that shit figured out in the 17th century. But yeah, it was a fun movie. I liked
So
it.
all the equipment in the castle resorts to psychological tricks to trick Belle into staying there till the Stockholm syndrome kicks in, and then that's enough that Enchantress is like, yeah, I guess that counts. Okay, there you go.
So she says she says I love you, and then the beast gets returned to life.
I think honestly, if this was football, it wouldn't have been in time.
I agree. Yeah, they would have rolled that back, and they'd been like, no, his knee was down.
Well, exactly.
That pedal was down. Throwing a flag, red flag, challenge. I'm challenging that.
When I was confirming your 10-year statement, I also saw that they did not make it in time. That the Enchantress, but she saw the act and took pity on them.
Okay.
And broke it anyway.
That was
So,
not.
No, they did not.
That
They
wasn't
did miss
explained
it.
clear,
in the movie. No, not at all.
So what's she doing with her life?
Watching him, I
Yeah.
guess.
Like, what a bitch.
Right?
You get like an 11-year-old calls you ugly, and then for 10 years you watch him.
And you were you made yourself ugly.
Yeah,
And then when the 11-year-old
wasn't
calls you
even
out on
lying
it,
to
you're
you.
mad about
fucking
it.
He was being a
entrapment.
dick.
Are you an
but he
enchantress?
wasn't
You have
lying.
to tell me if you're an enchantress.
Fuck it, you're fighting him. Fuck it, you're fighting him.
That's the law. You can't curse me if you don't tell me you're an enchantress first.
But this movie has similarity. I'm gonna tie it back to Thanksgiving for me.
okay.
In that the star of Thanksgiving, which is the turkey, I feel is the weakest part of Thanksgiving. I
Okay.
feel like it is a sides holiday.
Yes, I see where you're going with
This movie,
this.
Belle and the Beast, are the weakest part, and I love the side characters way more than anyone else.
They have all the personality. It's like comic relief on comic relief, and they all play off each other so well. And one of the best scenes in the movie is them doing their whole
Yeah.
"Be Our Guest" scene.
Yep.
It was really cool. It was so old school too, so old school Disney, big production number, right? And they did it all, and they were singing. Angela Lansbury singing. All of them were singing their parts and doing just a great job. And you're right. They were the best part of that movie.
Because Belle is also a narcissist like the Beast is.
Kind of.
Like she's pretty and uppity and looks down on all the villagers. Like they're all so boring and dumb. And I'm smart and I read books and I just walk around like,
Quote,
fuck
Belle.
her, fuck her, fuck Belle.
But meanwhile, the villagers are calling her dumb and weird because she's reading books. They even say at one point, "A woman who reads books," And of course,
In this world where 11-year-olds run our country?
we haven't even gotten to the very embodiment of toxic masculinity
Oh, yeah.
himself, Gaston.
Gaston is a
Okay.
fucking great villain. I love
He is a
Gaston
great
as a
villain. He might be one of I hate to say the best villains, but like the concept of Gaston as
Yeah.
a villain is fantastic.
And his
Yeah.
song is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
God,
And LeFou
so
is like
well written.
if Dale from Chip and Dale like reversed animorphed.
Yes.
Well, LeFou,
See, he met an enchantress, see. And the enchantress turned Dale into a human.
in the live action, LeFou is played by Josh Gad.
Okay.
Who's fucking great in any musical that he's in, but he really plays up the angle that LeFou is in love with Gaston.
Yeah, I've heard this theory.
Okay.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it's the live action is really good too.
I want to see
Live
it
action is
now
good.
because I
Yeah.
enjoyed. I assume all the music's there
Yep.
and stuff is the same. I'm gonna probably watch it because I haven't really been all in on this live action shit that they've been going to with the live action Lion King and live action
Yeah.
Aladdin and all this, but I'm not gonna watch live action Aladdin because I fucking hate Will Smith. But
Not as much as his wife does.
Yep.
hello, bringing the truth. I like. It's funny. I won't watch anything new with Will Smith in it. I'll watch his old stuff.
Yeah.
But anything like recent of his,
Same.
I just say fuck him, asshole. Anyway, I haven't really been on board for the live action, but I do feel like this one would lend itself pretty well.
I feel like it started that trend. I think it was the first one.
Was it?
So-
Okay.
Man who
Okay.
saw
Well,
Chris
and I
Rock
think
in person.
I also happen to think Emma Watson's cute as a bug.
She-
so I'm
she's
gonna,
a pretty
I'm
perfect
gonna,
Belle.
I'm gonna enjoy
The
that.
Belle live action was good. I saw it with Nikki, which was like because she likes Beauty and the Beast, so she was
Okay.
excited to watch. She was
Oh,
excited to
good.
rewatch this.
Good.
And she even asked. She was like, "Are we going to watch the live action?" And I was like, "I would like to, but I haven't seen the animated one since I was a kid, and that's what the game is based on. So it's like I feel like I need to watch that one, and I don't know if I have it in me to watch both of them.
Watch
At
double
once,
up.
right?
to back.
Do
You gotta
the
space
Beauty and the
them
Beast
out.
double feature.
Yeah.
Now, and one of the other appealing things about the original cartoon movie is that it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and 23 minutes
I was
long.
so happy
Oh,
when I saw the
nice.
runtime.
God, it just went.
And
it
I was like, oh.
paced perfectly. It just went intro,
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
problem, solution, happy ending.
Yeah.
We're done. Let's get out of here, folks. That was good. I'm sure the live action is.
We got another
a lot
showing in
longer.
30 minutes.
Right.
yeah. Pack the kids in.
Yeah, exactly.
Pack them in.
Need to make that money.
I'm gonna talk about the game for a minute.
Let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
This game.
Oh boy. You know, I had high expectations for this one because, you know, a lot of the time Disney games are pretty good.
They haven't been terrible.
This one's not so much in the good column for me. I didn't care for it. I thought it was hard to control. It was
Oh my
hard.
God.
The game was just hard.
Game is fucking hard.
And I got to a point where I was just like, I hit my fuck it point really early.
Was it like a platformer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1994 action platformer developed by Probe and published by Hudson Soft. When I saw Hudson Soft, I was kind of excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
And they did this in 1994. Did we get anything from Brad?
Yes, we did.
Do we
actually.
want
Thank
to?
you.
Yeah.
I always
Who
forget.
do you play as? Like
You play as Beast, which I was like, when I started it up, I was like, okay, good. I'm the best character that I could possibly be in this. Like, if there's a fantasy of Beauty and the Beast, I'm playing as Beast. You know, it's like I don't want to be the candlestick. I don't want to be the clock. You know, I want to be Beast. I want to be able to like fucking put some damage out and take some hits. Unfortunately, you only look like Beast in this game.
yeah.
You don't have this stamina nor his power.
Oh, rat bit me 4 times.
These goddamn rats, man. Holy shit.
Latch on and you got to shake them. Oh,
know.
fucking awful. All right, here we go. Brad from Arizona has written us an email talking about Beauty and the Beast, and I'll read it now. Brad begins, Bonjour, mes amis.
Bonjour.
Mes amis. I am not saying that me eventually marrying a bookish brunette had something to do with seeing Beauty and the Beast at age 9 and something being subliminally injected into my consciousness, but I'm not saying it.
I get it, man. I married a mermaid.
Okay. Okay.
I was married to a bookish brunette. It doesn't
always pay off.
work.
Yeah. Okay. It also could have been seeing Bailey Quarters on WKRP when I was still in diapers. Not exactly sure. Fist bump to John because Bailey Quarters is hot as fuck.
Yep.
From the August 1994 Game Pro by Earth Angel.
Will you be mine?
If you've seen the movie, you know this tale as old as time. After being transformed into a hideous beast by a nasty sorceress, enchantress, thank you.
I could be mistaken.
Earth
Although
Angel.
it is
It's
Enchantress.
Enchantress.
Although she's clearly a transmuter, but whatever.
No law of equivalent trade.
The prince.
Exactly.
Did a wolf somewhere all of a sudden like become a man? He's like, what the fuck?
she killed an entire village to make a philosopher's stone, so then she could come here and do free willy transmutation.
My penis is better, but I'm cold.
Oh, my brothers are gonna eat me.
I look like food. Beat by a
penis is
nasty
better.
sorceress. The prince has to find someone who will love him before his magic rose loses all its petals. And you know the rest. But don't let that trick you into thinking this game is kiddie fair. It is startlingly entertaining and challenging. Next section, Beauty Calls. As the Beast, you rampage through 4 chapters of hop and swipe action that roughly follow the movie's storyline. The Beast must search the castle halls, defend Belle from wolves, and of course face a final climactic battle with Gaston, all before time runs out. In each chapter, the Beast wipes out animated enemies such as spiders, wolves, and bats with swipes of his giant claws. Some bats. Not all bats can be swiped.
You don't really know.
He also navigates past enchanted obstacles, including secret passages, moving blocks, spikes, and other standard platform fare. In addition to walk, jump, and swipe moves, the big guy's got a stomp, super stomp, and a roar. The last 2 damage enemies and sometimes reveal hidden objects. His sprite is fairly easy to control, though precision... No, it's not. No, it's not. Though precision...
Objection!
Sustained. Though precision jumping is not his forte, especially when he must leap onto tiny bats and quickly vault to higher platforms, then that means his sprite is not easy to control. It's the literal definition of not easy to control.
It's one of the worst.
It's super stiff. Yeah. I mean, it's like crazy stiff.
Awful.
Like people who complain about like Castlevania being a stiff platformer, like play Beauty and the Beast because it's like you will absolutely hate it.
You'll appreciate your other more.
It's like the fucking Snow White game where it's momentum based.
Yes.
So him trying to jump from standing is like impossible. You're not going to go forward just enough to fall off into fucking spikes.
Yeah.
And so you have to slowly. It's precise platforming.
Oh yeah,
that's movement based. So it's fucking awful. Plus he has an edge animation.
Yeah, like
so
this.
Every time you're trying to be precise, you're doing that and backing up. And
it's awful.
Why?
It continues. The article continues. Also, watch out for some nasty slowdown when the Beast's trying to throw objects at his enemies. The next section, An Ancient Fable, reads, although B&B's graphics are not quite as spectacular as those in Sunsoft's Roar of the Beast,
So read that again. What was this?
Although Beauty and the Beast's graphics are not quite as spectacular as those in Sunsoft's Roar of the Beast. Is there another game that we didn't know about?
I'm looking this up.
It's the Sega Genesis version.
Okay. The animation is
produced in 93.
Oh, it's
so 93's Genesis had Roar of the Beast, and then
Okay. The animations and graphics capture the mood and humor of the movie with a lovely flair. Look for special touches like the darkening of rooms in the castle when the Beast moves too far away from Lumiere. I thought that was a nice touch.
I thought it was neat too, but it felt like super gimmicky because I didn't finish this game, but it's like after the first level, Lumiere's not there anymore.
Right.
And it's like,
you got the evil candlesticks all over the fucking place.
Right. Now it's like, oh, sweet, a candlestick. Ah!
And then the
shooting fire at you. You're like, fuck.
And then the even eviler candlesticks when they're in the fucking foreground, taking up a quarter of the goddamn screen, blocking all your fucking. God. It's like, what the fuck?
It's so
and then they
off-putting.
move with you jump, and it's like this is not how shit in the foreground works. Like shit in the foreground shouldn't chase me up.
Yeah, it is so bad.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I thought that was a nice touch. I also thought going back a bit on the or something else. Oh, I thought some of the graphics were okay. I thought Lumiere looked really cool.
Yeah, I thought the graphics looked good.
Yeah, they were pretty good graphics. Everything was recognized. I mean, everything that you could see from the movie was recognizable.
With the exception of Beast's Roar, because I feel like that's a cat about to hawk up something on you.
Which is a charge move, by the way. Like you just hold down the roar button.
What is Beast? Is he a lion?
He's a
cat.
Homunculus.
Chimera.
That sounds right.
Chimera. Yeah.
Okay.
Eduardo.
The sounds are not particularly memorable. The game does contain some of the movie's music, and the beast roars with appropriate scariness. No.
As scary as your cat about to get something on your carpet.
Yeah,
That is actually scary.
Exactly.
You put it that way.
On the linoleum, not the carpet.
But the rest of the FX are standard. This game, next section, A Beauty of a Beast. At the high,
I love watching John's
at
face.
the high
when all these
challenge
look.
setting, some areas of this game will cause even advanced gamers to roar with frustration. But there's enough entertainment value to keep you playing. While not as enchanting as Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast has the kind of Disney magic that will make you want to keep it around your castle. It's a beaut. Here we go. Hudson Soft's NES version of Disney's classic animated flick is a surprisingly good platform-style action-adventure game. Graphics, 4.0.
I'm with that.
Sound, 3.5.
I'm kind of with that too.
Control, 3.5.
No sir, no sir, no sir. That should be a sleepy face. That should be a 1 or a 1.5.
Yep.
Fun factor, 4.5.
No, disagree with that one too because of the controls. And it's not only it's everything in this game. Like every time I got hit, it was like, oh, that was cheap. Every time.
Everything.
Every fucking time. This is not an exaggeration. Every time it felt
What
cheap.
other game did this remind me of? Cat Mario.
Yeah,
It
totally.
is that
It's a troll.
fucking cheap.
It feels like the game. It honestly feels like it was designed like as a practical joke. Like it's like it's designed because it is. This game is so funny because it trolls you all
I
the
was going to
time.
say
That's
it's
what
trolling you.
You could die in the first 5 seconds from spiders.
Yeah,
Spiders
easily.
out of the blue.
Oh,
Just
ask
easily.
me how I know.
I love it
Yep.
that
Yep.
you were listing off all of the different enemies that you fight, and I'm just like, man, the only one that should be any kind of a problem is a fucking wolf. Like the other enemies are
Oh,
all
no,
things
dog.
you would
Spiders
think a
and rats,
fucking
man.
320-pound fucking monster would be able to handle.
No.
Living portraits jumping out, the candlesticks that
Yeah.
be off screen and fire just fucking comes
Sure.
in and gets you.
Yeah.
Yep.
cheap.
How long-
It's all cheap.
Some
It's all cheap.
platforms go into spikes, others don't. And even when you're doing this awful platforming that takes forever, you're fucking timed. That rose the whole time is so on top of it.
Had no idea that I was being timed until the last rose petal went doop 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 doop, and I was actually making progress at this point because who the fuck knew you could pick up the block and throw it?
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only person who
I
got
walked
stuck within the
around-
first 5 seconds.
I walked around that whole area roaring and doing
I
something.
couldn't even see it because
it's
the
so
game is so
dark.
dark. And then when I watched the gameplay on YouTube, I was like, I don't know how the fuck they got this so bright. I don't know if
I
it's an
know.
emulator thing or if it's my
Maybe.
TV brightness needs to be turned up because like I could not see that fucking
Oh my
rock.
god! And I was like, I finally accidentally picked it up.
I looked it up,
and I was
man.
like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This whole time you can pick shit up?" No. And then the spiders, they come back when you get them off screen. They come back, so you have to kill them again. It's a travesty. I did not even get through the first level.
They're
Yeah.
all
on this
super
game.
fast.
Yeah.
And it's like
And you're
there's
not.
a delay on your fucking attack. It's not like it's not like you press it and then a second later he swings, but there's enough of a delay where it's
he has a
like,
wind-
oh
like-
shit, it's moving fast. Oh, and I'm hit.
He's got a
They're like,
slight wind
input
up.
lag.
Yeah.
So your movement is
It's wind
slow
up.
because it's momentum based, and then you have the wind up to time.
There's
it.
like a frame of animation or two where he pulls, like he rears back, and it's like the enemies. It's 4:3 aspect ratio,
Yeah.
and it's like the enemies are coming fast off the side of the screen.
Yep.
And
So
you
it's like
can't move while
you can't get out of the way fast enough.
no, there's no.
because you're so slow until you take
You're very slow and
2-3
huge.
seconds to amp up speed.
And if I think you can't move when you're attacking. So when you attack, you stop
You're
moving.
stuck.
And so you can't just move and attack. You have to stop and attack and then move and then attack.
The controls in this game they're fucking horrible.
They're-
They
they're-
are horrible. It's like
It's
the enemy
possibly
hitboxes are
the worst.
massive.
Yeah, they
like
are. It's
I don't
possibly the worst
understand.
controls I've ever experienced.
And then the bats, some
Truly.
bats hit you, other bats you roar and they freeze in the
then
air
you
and you
jump on 'em.
platform on.
You use
But
them
it's
Which
as
is also
blocks.
nonsensically stupid.
Even it is, but it's like the what's crazy to me is like how demanding the game is for you to get something perfect the first time with these not only just that, but with on top of these controls, because it's like that level. There's a level where is it where you freeze the bats? Is that the one where the fucking spikes are raising up from the ground, or is that a different level?
Oh, as you play, there are so many moments you have to freeze bats all over the goddamn place. You're freezing bats.
And it's like if you fuck it up, if you don't get it perfect,
Dead.
You're dead. And it's like, okay, I can deal with that and actually probably learn to enjoy something like that if it's actually fun to control. Like if it was like Mario or something where it's like, well, okay, I'm fucking dying a lot, but I'm enjoying it. So like that makes it the challenge enjoyable.
Or at the very least, give you more lives or more health or more continues or something.
Well,
at the very
the
least.
challenge has to
Very
be in the
least.
gameplay and not the controls.
You
The
have to-
challenge is just in the controls.
Yeah.
And these
You have
bats
to-
are little bitty icy
You're
platforms.
fighting the controls
You fucking
the
slip
entire
off
time.
those. Oh
yeah, you
my
have to
God.
you can't stand on them.
No.
You have to jump.
Yep.
Like as soon as you hit the bat, you have to hit the jump button, and then it's like you have to chain it, and it's like again, this is also okay, I guess, but you don't know that the first time.
Right.
You know, there's like a learning curve to it, but the game expects you to just. They don't expect you to know it. They expect you to fucking die a whole bunch.
Right. And to hear
just-
Brad,
It's sheer memorization.
to hear this Earth Angel
is.
person talk about it, that is fun. And it's not.
It's
Oh, you'll
not.
keep coming back. You'll keep coming back just to have the satisfaction of beating this
You'll
challenge.
keep
It's
coming
like,
back.
no.
You got it for your birthday. and
No.
You have no other options.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Right.
I gotta mention that I feel like what publication did this come from?
That was Game Pro.
Game Pro. Who sent the last one? What was the? Do you remember what publication the last article that he
Which
sent
game
was from?
was it? Do you remember?
I'll look.
It was probably Game Pro. I think most of these have been from
Really?
Game Pro.
Okay, man. I feel like a standard was set for the segment titles, the section titles on the last one, and this shit like is weak in comparison.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
Yeah, every time like because the titles I remember the last one were like funny. Like every section title was funny, and there's these section
these
titles
were not
terrible.
funny. But it depends on the author. The author,
Right, that's
has to.
okay.
Yeah, the author might pen a funny pun or something, but this person didn't seem to care.
Earth Angels.
Lord of the Rings, Volume 1.
Yeah.
This was Bored of the Rings.
Right.
Bad hobbits are hard to break.
Bad
Right,
Hobbits are hard
yes.
to break. That was a great one.
Ring key dink. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are objectively way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those, and that's only in the Game Pro ones. If it's not from Game
Okay.
Pro, there won't be like punny little sections. Soldiers of Fortune.
Well, I didn't play the game, but I still got to be disappointed by it.
Have guns must travel.
You got the
It takes two
experience.
to tangle. Lock and load this cart. I mean, come on, that's pretty good shit.
But it's no bad hobbits. Hard to break.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But there wasn't any of that in this one.
But
so.
Lord of the
I
Rings.
heavily-
I mean, that was.
I heavily save scummed just because I wanted to get to a boss, and it was just, because I'm constantly getting hit with all the spikes. There are Mega Man levels of spikes all over the place, and the platforms you have to roar.
I hate
and
that.
Even like little segments where you can't make jumps unless you roar to
Roar.
move a platform. Like it's
And it's like, why doesn't it just move? Like,
Yeah.
why do I have to
Yeah.
stand there and charge a roar for 3 seconds?
yep.
to
And the
reveal a
enemies are
platform.
awful, and they guard because you can't. It's so precise you can't like jump onto a platform and then jump back if an enemy's coming.
No.
Like you're committed once you land.
everything in
and
this
an
game.
enemy is edge guarding.
Everything in this
Everyone.
game is like it's like first attempt. You gotta get on the first attempt. And it's like, okay, that's not great.
And the worst was when I made it to the boss,
Who was the first
It was
boss?
a gargoyle.
A fucking
right?
gargoyle.
A stone
And-
gargoyle.
From
it's-
Disney's Gargoyles?
It's that would have been great. Like Goliath is fucking there. Cool. I'm all for it.
You have
The
to
beast
roar.
versus Goliath.
You have to roar to freeze him and then hit him.
I love
That's
that.
why I love that. I figured that out eventually because I died to him so many times because it's 3 tiny platforms, tons of spikes, and he can fly. So you can't maneuver well enough to jump over him or do anything. So you have to like stun lock him while he swoops down with a roar. Hope you can hit him. And sometimes even that stun lock won't work. He'll still
Yeah.
hit you and you take damage, and then you jump onto the spikes. You have a fairly large invincibility window. So most of the time you can get back, but not always. And like that took me so long to do.
It was bad.
Absolute horse shit.
Bad.
And then after that, and I was in the forest, and it was like, I don't want to do this again. Like I jumped down and then saw there was like a floating ice bridge that would flip over and have spikes, and then flip over and be flat. And it's just like, nope. Nope.
If it
I know this is going to be. This is me fighting the controls the entire time. Nope, I'm out.
What if it had like Aladdin controls?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I feel like I would be good with this.
Yeah, it would.
Because Aladdin's a
again,
little floaty, but it's way more precise.
And
than
he's
this.
faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so much of this was like,
and the animation is better. Like his attacks are quick and
Yeah.
they look good when he's running.
it's just.
Wait, there's no wind up, and you
Or
can
even
attack
Pinocchio.
while you're running.
If
This
you
is
control like
crazy.
Pinocchio, I'd be okay.
I'd be fine with
Yeah?
that. I honestly think Pinocchio is a better video game.
It was.
than Beauty and the
It
Beast.
absolutely
Yeah.
was.
And I didn't love
I didn't
Pinocchio
love it
by
either,
any
but
I
it
think
was
stretch.
better.
this is the worst, in my opinion, the worst Disney game we've
so
done.
far, for sure.
I
Easily.
can't think of a worse Disney game.
I'm trying to think of one. Roger Rabbit on the NES.
That's close.
The
wow.
fact
close.
that
Pretty close.
there's this degree of indecision says a lot.
It's pretty close.
If I didn't have to get out and kill all the snipers and get back in the car and Roger Rabbit, it wouldn't be as close.
Well, you don't like going into buildings and just wasting your time talking to people who say the same shit.
The thing you're looking for isn't in this building.
Hey, look, kid. You got like 2 hours to kill before your mom comes out of that room. You know, like talk to these guys.
Yeah.
You guys got any achievements?
Yeah, I have some. My first achievement is Candle in the Wind.
Nice.
And to get Candle in the Wind, you venture too far away from Lumiere and fall to your death because it's pitch dark. You can also get this achievement if a chandelier falls on your head and kills you. Because the one with the candlesticks that are lit in the foreground but nothing's lit in the background.
Yeah.
The chandeliers that blend in with the wall
Yep.
fall on your head and kill you.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, sucker. My next
Roland wouldn't have fallen for that.
no, it wouldn't have. My next achievement is Cat Scratch Fever, and to get Cat Scratch Fever, climb the curtains in the castle.
Nice.
My
I
next,
liked that. I like that. It's a cool element in the game where you can
Somebody
climb
Yeah,
walls.
climbing the walls
and
and the
the
curtains,
castle
yeah.
carpet.
But then when you fucking do it on accident, because I don't know if that happened to you
It
guys.
did. It's
but
like, what
oh,
the fuck is happening? Yeah, it caused
Now
me-
I'm climbing. Okay.
Okay, now I know I can do this. I was thinking, can I wall? The thing is, I got to a point where I was like, can I wall jump?
Right.
And I tried it, and he stuck to the wall. I'm like, well, motherfucker, this whole time. So that's Cat Scratch Fever. The next
love
one
it.
is Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Nice.
And to get that, you die from time running out.
That's awesome. I love that
my
one.
next achievement is
I love it.
my next achievement is Heart Shaped Box. And to get Heart Shaped Box, you collect all the hearts and pieces of heart scattered about the game.
This is good.
And that was my last song title one, but I did because the song title for the next one wouldn't work, so I had to use the first words from the song. Tale as old as time. Start playing the game, hopeful that you'll be able to play through it a little bit. Realize once again that you suck at these types of games and that this game sucks, and give up.
Bravo, sir.
Tale as old as time, aka Beauty and the Beast. That's my list for this week.
I've got a couple. They suck, but here we go. I started with a theme, and then stopped doing that. I started playing WoW. I don't know what to tell you. First achievement. I'm working on my roar. In order to unlock, I'm working on my roar, which is a line from a different Disney movie, you see.
Yes, I got that
Okay, all right.
reference, actually.
All right, okay.
I was drinking coffee.
you release the roar button before it's fully charged.
Oh, premature roar ejaculation.
Yeah. There's no meter or anything to like tell you when it's
Yeah.
fully
Nope.
charged. You just kind of have to like
Assume.
figure it out. And what
Walls
you do,
start
it's
to
not a
shake
big
a little.
deal.
Maybe, I don't know.
Next achievement is, hey, I'm a street rat, remember? I'll improvise. That's another line you see from a
Nice.
different
I see
Disney
that.
movie.
I do see where you were going with this.
In order to unlock, hey, I'm a street rat, remember? I'll improvise. You have to have more than one rat attached to you at once, which
Can
I
that
unlocked.
happen?
Yep.
Oh,
sure
no.
can. When you get to the point where you're like, fuck it, man, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go as fast as, fuck this shit.
You're like crawling with
yeah,
rats.
yeah, you can get
Let's
more than one rat
just
attached to you.
Continue to the save point.
And then my last achievement is this is where it breaks down. Beauty and the Altered Beast. And in order to unlock Beauty and the Altered Beast, you just go fucking ham on Lumiere in the beginning because you can hit him.
Yes, you can. You can. And he gets this look on his face like, why?
And that's it. That's all I got.
Can't kill him, though.
No.
Scare him real bad.
I've got 3. First one is once bitten, twice died. You die to a spider.
Nice.
The other one is the links the beast will go through for pussy, and you collect 10 books because in all this awful, heinous shit you're going through,
Yep.
you can still grab books.
They work as checkpoints.
Because you see, Belle likes
they?
to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And one of the big gifts that he gives her in the movie is his
His dick.
big old dick. But after that,
In a box?
Better. He's
was
a
a
beast when he
gift.
does it.
it's a dick in the library. Dick in a room called a library,
In a refrigerator box.
AKA library.
which is like impossibly big. She couldn't get.
She couldn't handle it.
She's too much.
She
too
literally
much
started
for her to
crying.
handle. She saw it and just wept.
From everywhere.
I'm having deja vu at this very moment. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
My last
it's a
one
good
being
thing.
even more ROUS. Die from rats.
A reference to a previous
And I have all
achievement.
these ROUS because there's always giant goddamn rats in like
Yes.
all these fucking games.
Yep.
I like it when you reference your previous achievements. That's hard to do. I'd have to read my notes to figure out all my achievements, what they've been.
How much do you think you would pay for this video game if you were to buy it right yesterday?
I'd say this one's probably not terribly expensive, relatively speaking. I'm gonna say $11.95.
$11.95.
I feel like whenever I went to go buy Super Buster Bros, this was also there, and I thought it was too cheap to buy. So I'm gonna say $10.
Okay. $10. What do you think, John?
I don't know why, but the number 14 popped into my head, so I'm going to say $14.32.
$14.32.
Yeah.
Actual retail value of Disney's The Beauty and the Beast for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $31.43.
What?
Is it worth it?
Hell no.
Damn.
Come on,
Not
guys.
on a fucking good day.
Come on,
If I had
guys.
Danny
$31
DeVito? No.
that I was required to waste on something, it would definitely not be this. Fuck that. No fucking way is it worth $31.
I looked on the graph, right? Because price charting has a graph. And I was like, well, what the fuck, man? This seems like it's too expensive, was my thought. And I was like,
Right.
how much was it like 10 years ago? And it's like, $10? Which seems like it should be a reasonable price, but not 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Because to the next part of, I'm getting ahead of us a little bit, but my feeling on this is that it would had to have been common.
Well, that's the next thing.
Right.
So let's go ahead and get into what we think Flopsy has to say. I would also think that it's common. I have a feeling that price has to just be from like, this is a Disney This is a Disney product.
We're gouging
Yeah.
it.
And people collect Disney stuff.
Yeah, I wish
That's a good
That's a
point.
good point.
I do wish
Yeah.
there was a way to find out, like, I don't know what the common perception of a game was after its release. You know, like
Not the reviewer in Game Pros.
Exactly. Like how, like if there, it would be so nice if there was like a tomato meter type
Right.
thing for video games, even back
Agreed.
then, because it's like how many people bought this game based on the hype for the movie or seeing the movie and loving it, and then bought this game thinking it's a Disney game, it's a great movie, it's gonna be awesome,
I'm gonna
and then
wager
we're just
100%.
super fucking disappointed. Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna wager 100%.
I wouldn't have bought it. Like,
This would have been
just
a
like
rental.
having seen the movie,
Yeah.
I think I would have been like, So that now it's starting to make sense why the Genesis game was called Beast's Roar.
Yeah, Roar of the
Roar of the
Beast.
Beast, because then they could trick me into playing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like when I'm like 10 years old, I'm not interested in playing Beauty and the Beast, the video game.
Beauty and the Beast, Decepticons arrive. What's going on?
Beauty and the Beast Wars.
Yeah.
we should all right, so we should start a development company, right? And we just make shovelware, but at every game title it's like Beach Volleyball 2024 and then in parentheses General Leo.
I gonna see. I don't know. When was Flopsy published?
That's a great question. I know it was
There are a lot of beach volleyball. General Leo's Revenge. Okay. Okay.
all right. I want to see where they go with this. I mean, the reviews are all bad, but I mean,
Race driving, Yo Joe.
I can assure you that it was written after 1998. I'll look for a published date in here.
So the reason I ask is because the review that we read that Brad sent us was this obviously stroking Disney's massive mega corporation dick.
Hell yeah.
While they're standing there watching, pointing at the page like you better say good shit about our goddamn game.
There's a briefcase of money and a gun.
I
pointing
feel
at
like
you,
if
and
this
they're
was
going,
written
"Read the
well
paper."
after.
2019. It was written in 2019.
Okay, so at that point we have learned a thing or two.
It's like they
about
knew the
video
pandemic was
games.
coming and you needed 1,000 pages of SNES games to read.
It is a tome.
So, but I don't think they're going to be as forgiving as the Game Pro, Earth Angel Game Pro writer was. I'm going to say, but boy, they like their big. Flopsy likes their big
IPs.
franchises, their big IPs.
I don't know if this will help or not. Because usually before we do an episode, I'll look on Moby Games. And Moby Games had this. I was surprised how low this was listed. This was like $5.93, and I was like, "Wow!" Like I hate this game, but but that seems low.
This is out of 700 something.
Out of 700 odd, yeah.
And we know that the great majority of that is not good, right? The great majority of that 700 games is probably not very great.
No, it's not very great. But I don't know.
Half of them
Flopsy's
are
also
less than
lenient,
half.
Less than half.
notoriously lenient.
They
is
are.
Flopsy.
And I think they're going to give it points for graphics.
I think it looks great. I think they should give it points.
and
for
I
that.
think they're going to give it points for sort of the creativity of it, the parts of it that
Like the
are
puzzle
creative,
solving.
the puzzle solving,
Yep.
the mirror thing was kind of cool. I thought
So-
there's a thing where
Yeah.
you get you hit a magic mirror. There's a magic mirror in the movie that can show Beast whatever he wants to see. In fact, he spies on Belle in her bedroom.
Mirror, is she peeing? Mirror, mirror, wake up, mirror.
I saw her drink a lot of water. That's what I would.
Don't
do.
show me her read goddamn books. Show me.
Mirror, show me Belle taking a big shit.
but in the game, this is
Let's overdub the movie, please. Sorry.
if I was zoned out and didn't hear, I apologize. But in the game, I don't know if this was mentioned, but in the game, when Beast is running through, he'll hit the magic mirror. It'll be in a spot and he'll touch it, and it'll go forward and show you the next several screens of the game, so you can kind of plot out your course.
It doesn't help. It didn't
doesn't help, but I did
neat.
think it was a
It's
neat
neat.
idea.
And I will say that reminds me of something else in this game that I like it when platformers do this, where it's like if you hold the up button, the screen, like it shows you like the screen up and
Down
like you head
has that
down,
too.
so you can kind of like gauge your situation. It won't show you left or right, which is a real shame because that's what the shit comes
That's what
from.
you really need. Yeah.
But the enchanted mirror does show you left.
And
or
it
right.
doesn't help, but it's a neat idea, and I thought it was a good way to implement the magic mirror to have that quote unquote character
Right, sure.
in the game.
Yeah, and I like that the timer was the rose petal.
I like that it was
That's
too.
neat.
That was super creative.
Yeah.
It just doesn't let you know that it's the timer,
right because
until
it
you're
doesn't
about
look
to
like one.
die.
I thought at first it might be my life.
That's what I thought
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So when I was getting
It's-
rose petals, I was like, okay, good. Am I getting any hit points back? No, I
No.
still have only a fourth of a heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. They will give it points based on graphics, based on creativity, based on sound, based on all of these different metrics that they use. But at the same time, like, at what point does none of that matter because the controls are so broken that you cannot enjoy any of those things?
I guess it depends on who you are talking to.
Yeah.
Because if you're asking us, it's right fucking away
Okay.
immediately. Like all the charm is immediately gone from that game the instant you try to play.
Because you can
I
have a
agree with
game that
that.
has fives
I do
in
agree
all
with
of
that.
that. Like the graphics are a 5, the music is a 5, the creativity is a 5. But if you can't fucking play it, it's just too hard to fucking play. None of that matters. You have wasted all of that, effort. I
and
feel
in
like.
our big tome of games over here, they do tend to be lenient. But that I don't know. I can't remember how lenient they are with such an unforgivable sin.
And I think they are lenient, but I also think like, hey, not to like throw shade or anything. I can't back this up with examples, but I do feel like Beauty and the Beast is kind of one of those games where it's like if the person writing it has played it and memorized it,
They're gonna say
they're not gonna have the issues with the game that we do coming in from fucking nowhere, like knowing nothing about it. So
Yeah.
it's like if someone who has played this game like in their childhood is reviewing
Yeah.
it, it's gonna skew higher. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why a lot of the scores in Flopsy tend to
The
seem to
nostalgia
be.
factor.
You think there's all the reviewers are sitting around a table with a bunch of 3x5 Post-it cards with all the games? They're like, I want this one. I played that one.
I do.
Absolutely.
I do.
So then, those reviews are going to be
And they're gonna
intrinsically
bid on them and
colored.
stuff
Yeah.
because they're gonna be like, either if we've got multiple writers that want the same game, you're gonna have to fight me for it or something, kind of thing.
I do think they're going to compare it to other Super Nintendo Disney games, though. And there's some
And
pretty
it's gonna
good
score
ones,
low as
Aladdin and
fuck.
The Lion
Snestrunk
King.
did a video of all the Disney games. All I said about this was, it's bad and it's too fucking hard. And that was like, moving on.
I think so. After having said all that, which we don't usually do when we talk about these, I'm gonna say, I was thinking
that was my
they're
gut
gonna
as
give
well.
us 3
My gut's
stars.
3 stars.
My gut's 3 stars,
It
yep.
Two.
seems too hot. You had to look at John's face. Looked
Man.
like the surprised emoji.
We'll even do it like the Germans do.
I think they're
It's
gonna
just
skew
after
high
I-
on this one.
I mean, I think you're probably right. You guys, I feel like
Well, and
it's
I
talked
think
about, and
this
you
one-
all played the game. It was just like to listen to that.
Oh, and then for us to guess it's
Because I
3
did
stars.
not play the game, but then just to listen to
No, like I
Your
think it is.
experiences
I think
and
it
be
is a
like,
2-star game, but I think they will go high and it's a 3.
I think it's a
It will
2-star
too,
game.
and
I agree
think
with
it
that
will
too.
factor in a lot too if the author of the article is a female. Because if she is a female and she played games when she was a kid and she liked Beauty and the Beast and it was fine. Yeah, I think just all of these
kind of
things
like
factor
me.
in.
I am going to
If
be.
it's a bookish brunette who's into ugly guys, she's
I'm
going
gonna
to
be
skew this
nicer.
high.
Then call me. Here's my number.
I'm going to be nicer about a Star Trek game just because I love the content.
Yep.
Right.
Me
Sure.
too. I get it, and that's a thing. So I'm with you. I think 3 stars, common.
I think 3 stars. I'm good with Common.
Yeah.
I think it's. I
I'm
think
good
it
with
kind of
Common.
goes
I don't
without
see
saying
how it's
at this
not.
point. It would be
Yeah.
strange to me
Yeah.
if it's not, given that it was literally one of the most popular IPs of the time.
3 stars Common locked in.
Yeah.
All right. According to Flopsy, aka the ultimate Nintendo guide to the SNES library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a shadowy, mysterious benefactor.
I always miss that.
Beauty and the Beast, parentheses, Disney's. They fucked us. They fucked us. They fucked us. They knew we were going to go high. They fucking knew we were going to go high, and they made us look like fucking jackasses.
1.5 stars, right?
We were close. It was 2.5.
2.5.
Oh,
2.5.
man.
We should have maybe split the difference. I don't know. 2.5. Availability, uncommon. This is an uncommon video game.
That's weird.
That might sort of help explain the
Factor
price.
into the $31.
Yeah, 'cause God, like
I am shocked.
Yep.
The only thing, I think probably, though, the main reason I'm shocked is that this movie came out in 1991.
one.
Yeah, and the game
The
came
game
out
came
in
out in
94.
94. The hype for Beauty and the Beast was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
not as
Yeah.
high. If they'd have gotten the motherfucker out at launch
Yeah.
on something. I mean, was this 1991? I mean, God, this could have been a launch title.
Yeah, it could have
It
been.
could have been, but it probably wouldn't have been shitty if it were a
Right.
launch
They would have
title.
paid a little bit more attention to it.
They'd have had a,
Yeah.
they'd have had a different developer involved, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, so early on.
Early on,
It's kind of like,
it's
I'm
not
thinking like,
nothing-
well, it's we took Pilot Wings and put Beast in it, you know? Which I like Pilot Wings, but, you know.
I can understand the release date being later than that, like it is, but that had to be part of it. Is the fact that people were already. What was the next big thing after Beauty and the Beast?
Aladdin was the next Disney movie.
Oh well,
Or animated. I
shit.
know. And that's like when you guys were talking about voice acting, I was like, when did this come out? Like, when did this come out in relation to Aladdin? Because Aladdin is the one where it's like, okay, we got a big, we need a big star and all these fucking things
Yeah.
because this was so successful and so good with Robin Williams.
And it fueled the much better video game.
Yeah, I think Aladdin. I mean, I love
Why
Aladdin.
did you? It's a great game. I
Both for
actually
Genesis and
owned
Super
it.
Nintendo. Both
I like
versions.
both of
Yep.
them.
I owned it for Super Nintendo back in the day. It was one of the ones I actually paid for with my adult money because it was so good.
It's a great game. Yeah. We used to argue in middle school over which version was better, the Super Nintendo or the Genesis.
So James Earl Jones was in The Lion King, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
It was
Mufasa.
Say it again.
Ooh, Mufasa.
And then Robin Williams
Was a genie.
Yeah.
And Aladdin,
And
yeah.
Aladdin.
What other?
C from Full House was Aladdin.
Yep. Which they let you know in Full House.
Yep. Real hard.
I don't know. I was just wondering, was there like every Disney animated movie after this had like a big star, at least one well-known, established Hollywood star?
I'd have to do some.
Yeah, I'd have to look at a
Research.
list, but it seems like it was more important after Aladdin.
Well, and plus, let's not forget that we are talking about Disney here. The animation got way better in Aladdin, and the songs were way better. I like the songs from Beauty and the Beast.
Little Mermaid, was that pre?
That was before.
That was
That was
before
before.
this.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, they had some great songs in those movies. And The Lion King, I mean, I can still sing Hakuna Matata almost word for word.
And
The Lion King was the B
JTT
team.
was like the huge
Yeah, he
get,
was
I feel like, for
huge.
The Lion King.
Yeah, he was the big draw for that one. I just ask Gage. I mean, that kid was obsessed with
I was
that
going to say,
movie.
when you said I know every word to Hakuna Matata, I was like, I know why.
We watched that movie so many
And
times.
Whoopi Goldberg was one of the hyenas.
Yep. She's the one that said,
okay.
Mufasa.
All right.
Ooh, say it again.
Yep. I'm trying to think if we missed anybody who was.
Well, I mean, fucking Nathan Lane was
Oh,
Pumbaa. Was he Timon or Pumbaa? He was Timon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
There was a lot of stars in Lion King, actually. Fucking Jeremy Irons was Scar.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy
Yeah.
Irons.
I mean,
forgot
they
about- I
brought
should've
some
remembered
big
that.
talent in for that one. And I think they were able to draw the big talent for Lion King because they saw how well Robin Williams did.
Well, Lion
My
King was
wife
their
has
B
an
team
odd
animation because all their good
thing
animators
for,
are working on Pocahontas.
Jeremy
Yeah.
And it flopped in
I
comparison.
know. Yeah.
Well, the only song you get from that is Colors of the Wind.
I've never,
Otherwise, no one gives
I've
a
never
shit.
seen
I
Pocahontas.
haven't either. It never appealed to me.
I haven't either.
Much like Beauty and the Beast.
I
never
didn't
really, It
watch-
just wasn't on my radar.
I didn't watch hardly any Disney animated movies when I was a kid. Like very few of them.
My mother.
I watched Bambi in the theater.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one in the theater too when they did all those re-releases.
we owned all of
Opening the
these.
Disney Vault.
Yeah,
Dude,
when-
I
when
never
they did
watched
the
any of those
releases on these things on VHS, I don't know where they are since Mom died. I think Dad got rid of them, but
I never
we had
saw
all of the tape. We had all of the tapes.
I've seen
and
them though, because my cousins, especially my cousin Lee, had like, those white,
big, fat-
fucking
The clamshell
Yeah, you gotta like
cases,
fucking rip
yeah.
them
I love
bitches
those
open.
fucking things.
They
man.
last
noise,
forever.
The noise of those things opening.
Oh, and you
And the
could throw it
smell.
off of a 5-story building, and it would be
Oh, yeah.
fine. Like you
Yeah.
could not damage that cassette. If it
DJ
were in
Story
that
could have put
case.
an egg in it, dropped it off a second story, and it'd been fine. She would have gotten an egg.
But mom was super obsessed with Disney, just like she was with James Bond, and she collected those movies, and she had all those. But I just never wanted to really sit and watch them.
Yeah, I never
Except
saw
for-
Snow White.
except
I never
for
saw
the-
Lion King.
Yeah, and by the time the big ones started hitting, like these Lion King,
DJ
Beauty and the
Tanner?
Beast,
Did I say
I was
Story?
out of the
DJ
house,
Tanner.
so I didn't, I wasn't at home to watch them.
I saw The Little Mermaid, but I was like a grown man, and that was just because my wife loved The Little Mermaid growing up, and I watched it with her one time, and it
That's
was like
funny.
I was like, wow, this is literally one of the first like animated Disney movies I've seen.
I want to say Little Mermaid was like first, wasn't it? Like before Beauty and the Beast.
It was before Beauty and the
It was
Beast.
like
It was
89.
89.
Wait, was
Yeah.
Land Before Time?
Not a Disney
That was
movie.
okay.
Disney, yeah.
That
All
was
right,
Don
well,
Bluth.
Flopsy fucked us
That was
over.
Bluth.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, it was. Flopsy fucked us.
Yeah, flop, flop, blah, blah, blah.
Flopsy
Blah, blah,
fucked
blah,
us.
blah. So hard I can't even talk.
Fuck Flopsy today for being honest
We'll
for
be back.
once.
We'll be back. We'll be back, Flops.
Huh?
We're coming for you. We'll be back.
We'll get you again. We're better than you.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
had a lot of fun today talking about Beauty and the Beast. But before we close it out, if you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it the single straight razor bleeding out beard of Angela Lansbury as the pie baker in Sweeney Todd as she was the role on Broadway.
Okay. Tyler.
Give it yeah,
Apropos.
a razor human flesh pie beard.
I thought you were going with like a Glasgow smile or something.
I mean, that is pretty much how she killed them. And then
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
She'll kill them in the barber's chair, slit their throats, and then pull a lever that opens thing, and they drop down into the
Grind
bot-
up to
and-
make the meat
Yeah,
pies.
she makes the meat pies.
Hell yeah. Are they good?
I mean, they sold really well.
Everybody was starving, so yeah, they were delicious.
Hey, are these people? Shut up. Who gives a fuck? I'm starving.
Where are y'all getting your meat? Shut the fuck up. You hungry or not? You want something to
Our
eat?
Lord's 11, okay? We got to make shit work however we can.
And he's a real asshole already.
He hates ugly people, and we're all ugly. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses? Why?
The glasses of seared flesh of somebody kicking coals into your eyes.
Hell yeah. This
Like,
game's
yeah,
metal.
what Gaston does to
really
to the beast.
Oh. Brutal.
Matt
I hope he
Pat did a
rips Gaston
video-
in half.
Matt Pat did a video breaking down the number of eggs Gaston said he ate every day to like how it would have decimated that village if he had eaten that many eggs over the course of a year.
He has this whole thing about how when he was a kid, he ate 4 eggs a day, and then as he got bigger, he started eating 5, and that's how he became such a manly man. I'm not going to tell you how Gaston dies, but I'm going to tell you he saw it coming. He suffered.
He only had himself to blame.
I feel like the live action battle between Gaston and the Beast was long. And the only reason I say that is because when we were watching the animated version, I was like, oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Animation is expensive.
Yeah.
Animation's expensive and
We don't have
violence.
computers yet.
I like the scene where
Do this.
like Gaston, I guess, has like a fucking, I don't know what he has, a club or some shit. Oh yeah, he like tears off a gargoyle's leg, like a stone gargoyle's leg. He's like using it as a club, and he can't find Beast amongst a group of gargoyles. I love that. I mean, I'm laughing, but it was like, because it's so fucking stupid that he can't figure that shit out. But like the shot is great, and it's like all of that's really, really stylized exceptionally well. I feel like there's a lot of really good, like, look.
Worth
to
a
this
watch.
film.
Definitely worth a watch.
Movie good.
Movie
Yeah.
good.
Watch it with
Movie good, game bad.
Like it. Your boys might like it too. They just won't admit it.
Yeah. There's virtually no way I would get them to watch this movie.
I get it.
Oh yeah,
I'm positive.
Henry was there for like a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
like he laughed at when Belle's father's pants fell off and we saw his underwear.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay. And then he was like, he didn't say this, but I could just see it on his face. Well, okay, I'm gonna go play a game that I like instead of watching this.
Hey, listen, I give him the credit for at least giving it the old college try every
Yeah.
week.
We had food. It was oh yeah, we had food.
It was
Yeah,
bait.
yeah, it was
You
bait.
baited him
Yeah,
in there.
I was
get it.
curious if he would stay for a minute there. I was like, he's like, okay, he's kind of locked in, and then it's like, no, the boy can watch a fucking 2-hour video of like a guy playing Roblox, but like to like get him to watch like a movie is just
Dude, I
like
can't even get my kids to watch a TV show. Like a 20 or 30 minute episode of a TV show. But
Yeah.
yeah, they will watch the most absurd Minecraft
Oh, yeah,
or
dude.
Roblox videos.
oh man,
Oh, yeah. Good
Yep.
times. Good times.
yeah. I mean, hey, kids are gonna kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, I know that. Like we were not doing.
I was
what
no
our
better.
Parents wanted us to
nope,
do.
nope. I was no better.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait for what they wanted me to do to be over so I could do what I wanted to do. I just didn't have the freedom to say, well, I'm done. I'll see you later. No, sit down. You're watching this.
Is he watching that 8 hours of The Simpsons that he recorded again? Like that's, so I mean, it's like, yeah, okay.
He's worn out that Looney Tunes tape I made for him.
What we better do next week?
Oh, yeah. We do still have to think about next week, don't we?
Do we have anything left on the list, or are we through the movies? I know we're
I
getting
Close.
too.
We're getting close to that big Christmas finale of
Because
our
I know we
list.
have Toy Story,
Oh right.
we have Super Godzilla.
That was a movie or just Godzilla?
Just
It's
Godzilla,
based on
I
the
think.
movie.
I think we'd have to decide which Godzilla we need to watch. Maybe whichever one happened to have been out around the time this game was released,
Yeah, it's Super
Yeah.
Godzilla.
be it Japanese or American.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was the Matthew,
Matthew
Broderick
Broderick
one.
one. I think that was
We
later.
we could do so many jokes on that P Diddy song that's in the movie.
I never saw this movie.
Me neither. Me neither.
I've
I haven't
seen it,
seen
But
it.
there's a P. Diddy song in it.
Yeah, he's Puff Daddy at the time, but
Oh,
he's
it
like
was.
it's over a Led Zeppelin song, isn't
I
it?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it samples the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Cashmere.
Yeah, Cashmere. Thank you. That was Puff Daddy,
I
right?
think so.
I think so. Yeah, I vaguely remember the song.
I've seen that movie recently, but only in passing. Like I didn't. It was on,
Yeah.
and I didn't watch it.
I heard not good things about it, so I didn't watch it.
It's okay, but it's whatever. It's not great. So those are the only two besides Home Alone, Lost in New York.
Home Alone, yeah, Home Alone 2, Toy Story, and Super Godzilla. Unless this is Dave, you've proven to me this is not a complete list, so there could be some others I'm not aware of.
I've combed through it
Yeah.
once. I could maybe just go through it again because there's also some stuff where it's like it gets complicated because it's like I get in a position where it's like, well, I've never heard of this movie, but I could see this game title being a movie that I never heard of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess-
Well, we could continue the Disney thing while we're at it.
Do
And
Toy
just go
Story?
to Toy Story next week if
I'm
you're cool.
totally good with that.
I've seen that one enough to potentially not have to rewatch
Yeah,
it, but I'm going to rewatch it.
I want I'm going to try my best to get Henry to watch that movie because I'm not going to lie. I want to hear him fucking roast it.
Yeah.
Well, we are all going to have multiple days of Thanksgiving and shit going on. Do we want to do something that involves us watching a movie, or do we want to do something that's just...
It doesn't matter to me.
I've
got time off
probably
from
wouldn't
work.
get to, I do too, and I probably wouldn't get to it until the weekend after Thanksgiving anyway.
Okay.
So I'd say we're probably good.
All right.
If you
Are you?
I should. I mean,
Don't
I
drink that.
I wouldn't have to rewatch Toy Story if I didn't have time. So
Okay.
So Toy Story.
Cool.
All right.
Tolstoy?
Tolstoy.
Now,
Tolstoy.
my oldest is 13, and
We
I
have time
know
to do
that he has seen
Tolstoy.
Toy Story.
Easily.
And yeah, I think he would. I know that he's seen it, and he didn't like tear it to pieces. But then again, when he was watching cartoons, like I noticed there were
sure.
some cartoons
Yeah.
that like didn't look great.
No,
like,
they don't
just
look good
because
at
they
all.
were new. Like
Yeah.
some of those cartoons were super cheap looking.
Have you seen the CG Garfield that like
Yes,
Henry was watching that, when he
looks
was like
some
3 and I remember
PBS level,
It is
junk.
awful.
it's real bad. Yeah, it's real
awful.
bad.
like the
really
Coco
is.
Melon version of Garfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Owen would probably it would be rough.
We'll see. I don't even think I can convince him. I don't think I can get him Henry to stick around long enough. I honestly don't think he'd really roast it,
Yeah.
but because
The story's good.
the
but I still
story's
feel
good, the
like it's
characters are
targeted
good.
At a little bit.
it is younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's younger, and it doesn't. That CG that blew us away when it first came out doesn't so much anymore blow us away. But
Yeah.
thus is the nature of
That
these
is.
things.
That is.
We set, boys.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, but on Spotify, not Stitcher. I mean, really, just put it in the Google machine. We're all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
It'll say, "Did you mean tadpole?" You say no.
Yep.
You'll find us.
You'll find us.
Lots of shit going on, but most importantly is Patreon.
That's right. We have a Patreon, and you can get to it at patreon.com/tadpog, which is where you can go and give us money. And when you give us money, you gain access to our bonus content, which is limited edition.
Yeah, you could be like Belle walking into Beast's library
Yeah.
and be
you
like,
just
"Oh, this
see-
backlog, it's much smaller than I expected, but I'm sure it's quality."
Yeah, there's few items that are very long.
Yes.
Sometimes
Not
there's
girthy
not girthy
so much.
But it's there. Fuck. It's for $1. It's worth $1.
It is. It is worth
and some people
$1.
think it's worth more than that.
Plus, we get excited when you do it. We like send messages. I'll send a message to the boys and be like, "Look," I don't even say that. I just send them a screenshot.
Well, we have a sort of a tier, if you will, of that we call our executive producers, and these people give us $20 or more per month, and not because of the bonus content. They don't buy into that hype. They don't have to have something. They just give us the money because they like us and they
Yeah.
want us to keep doing
They want
this.
us to succeed.
And they're probably wealthier than me. But
I would hope. I mean,
would
they
hope
got to
so,
be
'cause I
wealthier than
can't
me.
afford-
Otherwise,
I wouldn't give this show
I-
$20 a month. I wouldn't be an executive producer if I wasn't a host. I'd be just that dude that sometimes comes on and gets drunk and tells stories about sex stuff, which I do in one of the Patreon episodes.
He does.
Called Ian Tells Sex Stories for Money.
It's a little on the nose, but that's okay. It's okay.
We got to rope them in somehow.
By design.
Most of the sex stories in that are no longer really. I haven't listened to that. I don't.
It's
ever
been a
want
minute.
to listen to that one. I don't want to know what. Guys, I used to get really drunk when I would come here and help and host the show. I almost used it as an excuse to get really drunk, and I would say lots and lots of things.
Cool. I
that-
did that on this show for about a year too.
that I didn't probably shouldn't have said, or maybe I don't remember saying, maybe a little of both. But anyway, our executive producers give us $20 or more per month, and I'm going to read the list of their names right now because we want to make sure they're recognized appropriately. That list starts with Cubicle Monkey, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, aka Gentle G, Pinball Airplane, Archmage Chris Edler, Sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Derek Pope Sandwich. What are we calling Jeff? Burger Bottom?
Burger Bottom.
Burger Bottom, Jeff Miners. Drink Smith, Joey Webster. Sandwich Pope, Phil Hawkins. Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela. Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl. Canadian Turbo Nerd Thomas. And Treff Dietrich. Thank you all so much for your donations. Thanks to all of our donors.
You guys kick ass.
You do kick ass. It's really nice of you to send us your hard-earned money every month just because you like us. I think that's great, and it means a lot. It really does. Even the smallest donation means a lot to us. Good Lord. That is a fucking
It took me a while to see it. Sorry. It was like in a weird spot.
Also, thanks to Brad from Arizona for your email.
I knew you wouldn't. That's like one of the scariest fucking spiders I've seen. You were the first person I thought of when I saw it. I was like, thank God John's here to witness this fucking spider.
God, he's making a house. We're gonna have to deal with that thing because there's gonna be a lot more where that came from.
Tyler,
Get it with your paper towels. I'm going to stand over here in the corner with my knife.
You might need a knife for that one.
I'm not going anywhere near it. This is to
Gonna get all his eggs.
This is to fend off the spider with.
I think he ran out the back. Yep,
Oh,
he sure did.
he's on the top. Oh,
Got him.
nice.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, no actual spiders were harmed in the making of this
Oh,
episode.
no,
of
that
TADPOG.
fucking thing died.
asshole!
That thing died.
Tyler Holland, you're my hero.
Yeah.
The way that thing was lit, because it was
creepy.
like underneath the fucking
translucent.
shade. When I saw him on top, I was like, oh, he's not so scary now.
And then when he dropped down into the light, yeah, that's right.
Dramatic. It was dramatic. It was like Gremlins 2 lighting.
Beauty and the Beast, a.k.a. Lampshade Spider, dies horribly.
More at 11.
More at 11. All right, that's it. We're done with Beauty and the Beast.
Hell yeah.
Spider is a new Steam name. This
Could be your new Steam name, yeah. Because even though most people wouldn't know it's ironic, it would be ironic.
It would be.
Well, our theme song is moved, so I think we're driving to that track from TADPOG.com. How you guys want to close it out?
Is your favorite character from Beauty and the Beast?
So until next time.
Capricorn.
Capricorn? Dave's like, I didn't
The
have
toilet.
a favorite character.
The toilet bell peed in.
It was also the toilet from Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
So just like, give me your pee-pee, Bell.
No, he's smarter than that. He's like, I'm going to pretend that I am not a human that was turned into a toilet. Because then she'll stop sitting that dumpy on me and feeding me this delicious Bell cider.
Delicious Bell Cider is my new Steam name.
Yeah, it's
Give me your milk and cookies.
it's pretty good.
Oh, shit. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler and releases new episodes every Wednesday. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and just about anywhere else podcasts are hosted. If you have a question or comment for the hosts, don't hesitate to call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. If you'd like to send us something, you can do so at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you'd like to donate to the show, visit patreon.com/tadpog, and with a minimum donation of $1 per month, you will get access to all of our fun bonus content. Join the conversation on our Discord server at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord. Registration is free, and we'd love to have you there. If you enjoy our show and haven't already, don't forget to find and tap that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
One of few people that have the golden standing invitation ticket.
Yep. We ain't giving any more of those out. I used mine to parlay my way into the fucking hosting seat. We're not giving any more of those golden tickets out.
I got the only one. Exclusive.
Well, there's others that could come anytime they want to. But after this, everyone that's been established is pretty much established, I think.
I don't want to meet any other people.
Not either. I mean, there's the rub.
I'm good. You know,
Got my quantity.
I've got my
back.
108 stars. I'm good. Don't need any more.
I'm set.
You guys ready to keep going?
Yeah, let's get started.